Abby, I remember you said something about seeing your dad soon. When is it again?
To visit a hospital? I was going to see him the day after tomorrow. Why?
I thought I'd tag along. I haven't been able to make time to see him in a long time.
Oh, it's so sweet of you. I think he would be very happy to see you. But I'm a bit surprised you'd suggest anything like that.
Why would you be? I do care for your father in case you didn't know.
I know you do, honey. I'm very thankful that you do. But you have work that day, don't you? Are you going to take the day off?
My office is close to the hospital, so I will use my lunch break to come see him. I won't be able to stay that long, though.
Oh, that's not a problem. I will let him know and ask him to try to stay away around lunch.
Does he sleep a lot during the day now? Is his condition that bad?
Kind of. He sleeps most of the day recently. I haven't been able to speak to him much either because he is barely awake whenever I see him. I think it's because of what the doctor told me. It means he is losing his strength.
I see. I hope he gets better soon. My parents send their regards too.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. I have a favor to ask. Will you help me?
A favor? What is it?
I'd like to borrow some money from your dad, and I want to talk to him about it, but I don't want to be rude, so will you ask him with me?
What? Why do you need money? Did you do something?
No, it's not me. My parents have some sort of loan. I want to help them pay it off, but I don't have enough. But your dad has all his investments and all that, so I was wondering if he'd be able to help.
Luke, I don't think that's very appropriate. He is very ill right now. Now is not the time to talk about money.
I don't have any other options. The payment is due in a matter of days.
That's their problem. I'm sorry, but my father has nothing to do with it. If you really want to help them, I think it should be from us, not from my dad. If that's the case, I can help.
I wouldn't ask your dad if I could help them myself.
Is the loan that big? How much do they need?
I think about $30,000.
30 grand? I know your parents are big spenders. Did they splurge on something unplanned?
No, they wouldn't do that. What the hell do you take my parents for?
Well, I have my reasons to be suspicious of them. Anyway, you can't ask my dad. He is ill, for God's sake. Don't say anything ridiculous.
But Abby, they could get in real trouble.
Will you think about how my father would feel? He will be very sad to find out that you only paid him a visit to ask for money. Sorry, but it's a firm no.
Well then, I won't. But do you think you can when you think it's best? I mean, preferably as soon as possible.
Okay, we will discuss this another time. But I mean it when I say you can't ask him, or else you cannot visit him.
Fine.
Luke, what the hell was that? I told you not to.
I'm sorry, but you weren't helping. If you had asked in the first place, I wouldn't have today.
How dare you? And why the hell did your parents show up? You cornered my father. You shouldn't have brought them.
My parents are the ones who need the money. It's appropriate that they ask in person.
So you want to talk about manners? What do you think about cornering a bedridden man for money, huh? Have you no shame?
Like I said, we don't have any other option. And what's wrong with your dad? How can he be such a cheapskate when he has so much money? We asked politely.
Excuse me? You've got some nerve to complain. He refused to lend your parents any money because he couldn't understand why your parents need it. They were not clear about why they have such a big loan suddenly.
His family is in dire need. All he cared about was how many parents ended up like that, or if they even really had any loan to pay off. How rude can he be?
The only rude people in that room were you three. You guys stormed into his room and barely said hello before you started to talk about money. Yet, you can't even answer why you need it? Give us a break.
That's what I mean by cheapskate. A real man wouldn't ask and just hand out money to be needy. So stingy. My parents were so disappointed.
You're the one who is disappointing. I had been clear about not asking him. You broke that promise.
I did what was necessary to help my parents, but your dad refused to help them despite his wealth. I am so ashamed to call someone so selfish my father-in-law. I guess money couldn't buy him compassion.
You know what? We should get a divorce. Then you won't have to be related to him anymore.
Are you being serious?
I don't care if we do. What you did to my father is worth a divorce.
I won't take you back, even if you regret it later. You understand that?
Oh, don't worry. I do. I will call my lawyer now and have him prepare the documents immediately. You should call your lawyer too.
Fine then. I will. I'll even sign the papers right away. Don't come back to me crying. Hello, Abby? You're still mad? When are you coming home?
I thought we were both ready to get a divorce. How can you act like this is all well?
Yeah, well, you know the whole divorce thing fell through. You agreed to hold it off afterwards.
I agreed to hold it off because my father was in critical condition and I didn't have time for you. I can sign the papers right now and go file it at court.
Don't be so cold. I got a little heated, spur of the moment. You shouldn't have brought up a divorce in the first place.
Spur of the moment? You signed the papers before you even read them.
I wasn't thinking clearly. You know I love you, and I know you love me too. We would be such fools to let anger drive us towards a divorce.
Whatever, Luke. I'm busy right now. I don't know when my dad will worsen again. I agreed to hold it off, but I won't be returning home.
He's been fine for a couple of days now. Why don't you come home and relax for a bit?
The doctor warned me. He said his body could give in any time, so there is no relaxing for me right now.
Why can't you care for me a little, huh? I've been living off frozen pizza for days. I'm so sick of it. I don't get to eat anything decent when you're not home.
You really don't care about anyone else but yourself. My father is dying. Take care of your goddamn self.
Why should I care for him? He refused to help my parents. I'm not going to raise one finger for that cheapskate.
You are unbelievable. You should get some help. Really.
But it is all his fault. We asked so politely. By the way, don't bother to invite us to his funeral. We don't give a damn about him.
Seriously? You are still his son-in-law.
I married you, not him. He's not a real relative. He chose to be a stranger to us when he refused to lend us money.
How pathetic. He'd be so sad to hear all this.
I said I don't care. Anyway, come home already. I don't have all day to ask nicely, You need to do what is required of a wife.
Oh my gosh, I have to go.
Huh? What is it to prioritize above your husband?
My dad is crashing again. I don't have time to talk to you. If you want to come, help yourself.
Hell no. Like I said, I won't be attending his funeral either. Just come home when things are over, okay? Good luck. Hey, Abby. How have you been? You must be tired from everything. From the funeral to cleaning up his house and all.
What do you want?
So feisty. You haven't been home in so long. I've been worried about you, You handled everything on your own, right?
Yes, because the man I used to call my husband provided zero support, nor did he show up to his father-in-law's funeral.
At least I told you beforehand that I wouldn't be attending. Anyway, I'm glad everything is done and over with. So when are you coming home? I really miss your cooking.
Funny. You are actually hilarious.
Come on, don't be so sarcastic. So is it true? Did your dad really leave you $100 million?
Where the hell did you get that from? You're not supposed to know.
Some of your relatives really like to gossip. But I mean, $100 million? We would have so much even after paying off my parents' loan. Should we buy a house?
We are not buying any house. We are divorced and not related anymore. I have nothing to do with your parents' loan. Please handle it yourself.
What are you talking about? We decided to hold off on that, remember? Stop playing around.
You mean you don't recall signing the papers? You know I kept the papers. It was up to me whether I file it or not.
What? I never agreed to anything. I told you it was all spur of the moment.
But you signed it, didn't you? You even said that you won't take me back. So I went ahead and countersigned the papers. I don't see what the problem is.
You can't still be mad at me, Abby. Is this about your dad? All right, I'm sorry. Don't hand the papers in, honey.
I told you. It's been filed already. In fact, they were filed the day after you said you are not attending my father's funeral. Everything is too late, Luke.
You better be joking. You just want the money to yourself. You will not get away with this.
Get away with what, exactly? Keeping what was bestowed to me? What makes you think you are entitled to anything of what my father left?
You will pay me consolation money. I'm sure you have enough. You'll also pay off my parents' loan.
You are so dumb, Luke. Why in the world would I do that? I do not have a single penny to spare you or your parents.
You filed the papers without me knowing? I never gave you permission to do that. You pay for what you've done.
No, I will not. I have absolutely no fault. You should blame yourself for signing at the spur of the moment.
Then let's get married again. It's inevitable that the papers were filed, but we can redo our marriage. We still love each other. Our divorce is all a misunderstanding.
Nice try. But I will not be wasting another second on someone who thinks of my father as some sort of money tree. I wish someone would pay me for being your wife for this long, actually.
Don't push me away, Abby. You know I was only trying to help my parents. I was in a panic, you see? I wasn't myself.
Yes, I see.
You get it, right? And let's get married again. We can enjoy ourselves for the rest of our lives with your dad's money.
I see that this is the true you, Luke. All along, you've been hiding who you really are. You only showed me your good side. I'm so glad that I see the real side now.
No, that's not what I mean. Why don't you understand? I need you in my life, Abby. Please don't leave me.
It's the money you need, not me. I will not be an exclusive ATM to you or your parents. Go figure out your own problem. I'm sure it will be difficult for someone as irresponsible as you to take care of your also irresponsible parents. But hey, good luck! I quickly deleted him from my smartphone after our last conversation. I really did have the divorce papers filed earlier, so I am glad to say that I have no relation to him now. I made several sneak visits to the house to pick up my stuff while Luke wasn't home, and also sold my father's property shortly after. I used what my father left me to move away and start a new life, so I don't think I will ever see Luke again. I heard from a common friend that Luke now lives with his parents. Their loan has become even bigger than it was before because they keep spending money irresponsibly. Because of that, Luke now works day and night to help them pay it off. But I don't think it will ever end though, unless his parents learn how to manage their finances. Luke should have realized that he needed to control his parents before asking anyone for money. But honestly, I couldn't care less how they end up.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Eric. I got back from the hospital your mom's staying at today. The doc said she's getting discharged next month.
Oh, really? Oh man, I gotta tell you. I thought it was just a broken bone. I had no idea she'd end up staying in hospital this long. Well, I'm pleased she's finally gonna be getting out, you know. Oh, she must be so relieved. What did she say?
I guess she is glad, but we're not out of the woods yet, you know? There's still the minor issue of her not being able to walk at all. What are we gonna do about that? She still has to get around on crutches.
Oh, so what?
So, who's gonna look after her? She's gonna be all on her own if she goes back to her place.
Wait a sec, you mean you're not gonna do it?
Me? Are you being serious? How am I supposed to do it? I'm busy with work.
You only work part-time. You've been visiting her in hospital non-stop since she got admitted, taking her things, helping her move around the ward. You're basically already her carer, so you obviously have the time.
I only did those things because you asked me to. It's not like I didn't make sacrifices.
Well, the only difference now is instead of helping her at the hospital, you'll be helping her at home. What's the problem?
To tell you the truth, I wasn't exactly crazy about driving out to the hospital every day either. I only did it because there was no one else. Believe me, I didn't want to. Did you forget how badly she bullies me?
Shouldn't that be past tense? She stopped recently, right? I think she realized the error of her ways because you were so kind to her in hospital, you know? I bet she feels bad about the bullying now since you're constantly going out there to take her things. My mom's changed, Luna.
I'm pretty sure that's only because there are other people around, and she doesn't want them to know how horrible she is to me. She still grumbles and complains about the pettiest things when it's just the two of us. Not only that, but she still barks orders at me over a message just like always.
You're a big girl, babe. You're strong enough to take it. if anyone has what it takes to look after my mom, it's you. All you have to do is help her get around and keep on top of things around the house. I mean, you're so good at it by this point. It would be a shame to let your skills go to waste, right? Right?
All I have to do? You talk about it like it's nothing. Do you have any idea how much of my day looking after your mom eats up? It's not a question of whether I'm capable or not. It's a question of whether I get to live my own life. Besides, my responsibilities would skyrocket. The hospital has been taking care of the food and cleaning until now, but that all fall to me at her place. I'd be going from helping out a little here and there to being her literal full-time carer.
Don't be ridiculous, babe. It's a broken leg, not dementia. There's still plenty she can do. It's fine. Take a chill pill.
The reason I'm saying these things is because it's not fine, Eric. Remember back when all this started? It'll only be while she's in hospital, babe. You can go back to normal when she gets out, babe. What happened to that? You never said anything about looking after her when she gets out, and it's not fair of you to spring it on me like this.
What do you propose we do with her then?
We? She's your mom, Eric, and she hasn't been nice enough to me to warrant me going out of my way to help her. The bottom line is, I won't be looking after her when she gets discharged, and that's final. If you're so worried, look after her yourself. If you want my honest opinion, I think she'd be better off in a care facility till she can walk again.
You want to dump my mom in an old folks' home? She's only in her 60s.
Doesn't have to be an old folks' home. There are all kinds of places that look after the disabled or people who aren't so good on their feet. That way, she'll have a team of trained professionals to help her and be surrounded by people in similar situations. Surely that beats being cooped up at home all on her own with me, dropping by at great inconvenience to myself to provide care I'm not even qualified to give?
God damn it. Well, I can't believe she's finally set to get discharged, and this is your attitude. I'd feel bad about putting her in a facility. Sure, she'd be alone a lot, but she feels comfortable at home.
If you feel that bad, look after her yourself. She's not my problem.
I work like a dog every day at the office to put food on the table for you. You can't seriously be telling me to look after my mom on top of that.
I'm saying figure something out yourself. If looking after her yourself isn't an option, then you'll have to go arrange for her to go somewhere else.
God damn it. How can you be so heartless? This is the woman who gave birth to me we're talking about here.
I know that. She won't let me forget. She uses the fact she's my mother-in-law as justification to treat me like her slave. Believe me, I wanted us to get along more than anything.
Look after her then.
Keyword being wanted. I gave up when I realized what a venomous bully she is. She clearly has no intention of building a healthy, respect-based relationship with me. So why should I go out of my way to help her? She lets herself into her house and throws my cooking and personal belongings in the trash without even telling me. She demands I divorce you every time I have the misfortune of seeing her. Why would I want to care for someone who treats me like that?
That's just what mother-in-laws are like.
It amazes me that you think you can explain this away with a single sentence. How many times have I told you about all the crap she puts me through? In spite of that, you haven't said a single thing to her. It's like you don't even care.
Why rock the boat and let a petty squabble between in-laws turn into a fully fledged family-wide drama? If you guys have beef, you need to hash it out between yourselves.
The reason I'm telling you for the 1,000th time is because this isn't something I can fix on my own. She's your mother, for crying out loud, Eric. You should be the one responsible for arranging her care.
Well, fine. I see how it is. Looks like I'll have to deal with this myself. I need you to carry on looking after her till she gets discharged, but I'll figure something out for when she does.
Really? I'm repeating myself here, but let me make it crystal clear that I will absolutely not drive to and from her house to look after her when she gets out.
Geez, enough already. I heard you. You got some nerve. You know that, woman? I'm busy enough as it is, and now you're palming your jobs off onto me. Everyone knows it's a wife's sworn duty to look after her in-laws, but obviously common sense doesn't apply to you.
Sworn duty? I think that might be pushing it a little. You know, I actually wouldn't mind looking after her if she wasn't so horrible to me.
Whatever, I've heard enough. I'm gonna take care of everything to do with her discharge and the arrangements afterwards. In return, I need you to keep your mouth shut about her for a change.
Fine by me, as long as I don't have to look after her.
Fine. Don't forget this conversation, Luna. Luna, I just got done talking with Mom about what's gonna happen when she gets out of hospital.
How did it go?
It's good. We made a decision. The move will be taking place next month.
Really? I'm pleased to hear she understands it's for the best. Where will she be moving?
Well, my mom's not the one moving. We are.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Me and you are moving in with my mom next month. I take it you got no objections to that?
What? We're moving in with your mom? Why would you agree to that?
Agree? No, I was the one who suggested it. She said she didn't want to live in a home full of crusty old bedwetters, so I figured me and you moving in with her was the best option.
The best option? How do you work that one out? You mean because I'll be the one responsible for looking after her?
Yeah, you said you didn't want to drive to and from her house to look after her. And to be fair, that would be super inefficient. I thought on it a little, and that's when it hit me. My stroke of genius. I figured if we move in with her, you can look after her without wasting all that time on the road.
What the hell are you talking about? It wasn't the driving part I wanted to avoid. I can't believe you, Eric. The reason I said no is because I don't want anything to do with her. I was able to tolerate her at the hospital because I didn't have to spend much time alone with her thanks to the nurses. I'm not joking when I say I'll have a nervous breakdown if we have to live under the same roof.
You don't know that unless you try.
No, Eric. I know damn well how awful she makes me feel, and I don't need to intentionally subject myself to her company any further to understand. There is no way I'm moving in with her.
Look, think about it, babe. We won't even have to pay rent if we live with my mom. We could save so much money. Mom said we only have to pay for our food. The merits are endless.
This isn't about the money. I can't be under the same roof as your mom 24/7. I'll go insane.
She can't even move without help. What's the worst she could do? A few unpleasant comments here and there, the occasional frown. Jesus, Luna, I thought you were made of stronger stuff than this. I don't get why it has to be such a big deal. Does a frail old lady who can barely move by herself terrify you that much?
I'm not scared. I'm just physiologically impossible for me to live in the same house as her. How would you feel about living under the same roof as someone who hated your guts and went out of their way to make you as miserable as possible?
She's family. What choice do we have?
That's funny. I lost count of how many times she told me I'm not part of your family.
Are you really as tilted over the nonsensical ramblings of an old-age pensioner? Stop being so neurotic.
Not wanting to live with my abuser makes me neurotic? Wow, you really have absolutely no intention of trying to understand how I feel, do you?
Right back at you. You don't understand my feelings either. Why do you think I suggested we move in with her? I did this for you. You said you didn't want to waste time driving to and from her house, so I came up with an alternative. And this is how you repay my kindness.
Kindness? Give me a break!
Enough of this crap. We're moving in with my mom, and that's the end of it. I already told the landlord we'll be leaving next month. Start packing up our stuff. We're moving in the day before her discharge.
Understood. I'll start getting everything together.
What? Am I hallucinating? Did you actually... Whoo! Yippee! Whoop-de-frickin'-doodle-doo! I see, babe. This wasn't so hard. Why couldn't you have just been like this from the get-go? My mom said she's gonna fix up that contrarian personality of yours when we live together. She can't wait to have you. She's promised she'll never disobey my orders again once she's done with you. Oh, Luna, you done with everything at the apartment?
Yep. I'm just about to leave and hand the key back to the landlord.
Oh, good. The removal van just got to my mom's place. They're carrying our stuff in now.
Cool.
Jesus, Luna. Some of these boxes are so dusty. Couldn't you have made them look a little more presentable before sending them off with the removal guys? They're gonna think we're poor. And make sure you clean up once we're moved in. I'm not gonna let you make a mess of my mom's house.
Do it yourself.
Hey, don't disobey me, woman. I was at work all day yesterday and I'm tired. Besides, I'm exhausted from changing Mom's bed sheets and taking out the trash just now. Hey, wait a sec. Hey, something's not right here. The removal guys only brought my stuff in. What happened to yours? Is there a problem?
Nope, no problems. I'm not moving in with you. Good luck caring for your mom.
You're not moving in with us? What? What are you talking about? This some kind of prank?
I never agreed to move in the first place. That's why I won't be joining you.
But you said... you said you would. Wait a second, let me check the message. Yeah, you said you understood.
That was in response to you ordering me to start packing our things up.
What the hell? How can you do this to me on the day of the move? If you didn't want to come, you should have just freaking told me.
Go on, scroll through the messages again. I think you'll find I told you plenty of times. You just ignored me, as always. You decided we were moving in with your mom without me, so I decided not to come without you. You hardly have any right to complain.
What about my poor mom? I work full time. I don't have time to be a goddamn living carer.
Not my problem. I told you I didn't want anything to do with her. This could all have been avoided if you just listened. Looks like your stubborn arrogance finally came back to bite you in the ass, huh, Eric? She would have kicked the bullying into high gear when she had me at her place. I would have been so dependent on her, I wouldn't have been able to do a thing about it. There isn't a wife on the planet who'd willingly put themselves in that situation.
Forget this crap, Luna. You've had your fun now. Just hurry up and get over here.
No chance.
If you don't come this instant, me and you are getting a divorce. I mean it, I'll do it.
Great. Can't wait.
Huh?
I did this knowing full well it meant divorce. You're a scumbag of epic proportions, and the sooner you disappear from my life, the better.
Who the hell do you think you're speaking to, bitch? You work part-time. Even worse, you're in your 30s. You don't seriously think you can get by without me around to support you?
I'll take a life of potential uncertainty over the one of guaranteed misery I get living as you and your mom's slave and verbal punching bag.
I'll never forgive you for this, bitch. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. If you don't get your ass over here right now, I'm telling my mom. Don't think I'm gonna let you escape. I won't sign the divorce papers. Hello? You there? Luna, answer me. Hey! Luna, please respond. I'm so sorry. I'm begging you to respond.
Hey, Eric. I just got done talking to my lawyer. He said if you refuse to sign the divorce papers, I can take you to divorce court. It sounds like a lot of trouble, but if you won't sign, then I'll have no choice.
Luna, wait, please don't do this. Can't we just talk things through?
What is there to talk about? Asset division?
No, not that. The divorce itself. You're not even letting me have a say. I don't want a divorce.
This is rich. You're the one who threatened me with divorce if I wouldn't move in with you and your mom.
That was just, well, no, I was joking. Or, I just wanted to scare you a little because you made me mad.
That's a shame, Eric, because I do want a divorce. Like, really, really, really badly. We're never getting back together, and nothing you say could ever change that.
Why'd you have to be like this? People move in with their in-laws all the time.
What's your point? That you base all of your actions on what other people do without any thought of your own? I guess your little pea-brain would struggle with something as complex as independent thought. Your mom needs near full-time care. But more than that, her sole purpose for existing seems to be to make my life a living hell. I'd have to be nuts to live with her. I made this all clear before, so you can hardly be surprised. This is your own stupid fault for being too stubborn to listen to me. I can't be married to a guy who's not capable of communicating with me.
I'm sorry, I should have asked you if it was what you wanted. I know I've been an idiot, but I was really worried about leaving my mom on my own.
I understand that, but the responsibility of caring for someone who's almost incapable of moving around on their own is huge. It's not something that should be taken on lightly, and especially not without discussing it properly first. The fact you demand I look after your mom, despite knowing how horrible she is to me, told me all I need to know about how you really are as a person, Eric. Whatever it was I saw in you when we got married, I don't see it anymore. I wouldn't move in with your mother if you paid me.
I'm sure she'll realize what an amazing person you are once we all live together. Yeah, that's it. The only reason she was like that with you up to now is because she doesn't know the real you. Remember when you said before you wanted you and her to get along? Well, this is your chance, babe.
That was before she started bullying me. And please, Eric, you must think I'm a total moron. You told me she was gonna fix up my contrarian personality when we moved in together. The idea of having anything more to do with either of you makes me physically sick. I stopped seeing you as my husband the moment you start treating me like your subordinate instead of your wife.
Please, Luna, I'm really sorry. I didn't want to do what I did. I just didn't think I had a choice because of how desperate my mom's situation is. I wanted to do whatever it took to convince you to move in with her.
Yes, I know how selfish you are. You don't need to remind me. There was never anything to convince me because I told you categorically that it wouldn't be happening from the get-go.
Fine. Fine, you win. You don't have to move in with her. How about just paying her visits 3 times a week instead?
You cannot be being serious right now. Does everything I say to you go straight in one ear and out the other? This isn't a question of being a live-in versus a visiting carer. It's a question of me walking away and never looking back. We're getting a divorce, you imbecile.
Please, baby, I'm in a really difficult situation here. Mom can't move without her crutches and she's super stressed. She keeps demanding I do everything, housework, helping her move. I even had her help her sit down on the toilet earlier. She called me 25 times while I was at work today. The house was like a bomb site when I got back. She's clearly not capable of doing this by herself, and I think she might lose her mind at this rate. And me along with her.
So what you're saying is, you want me to do all that crap instead? Thank God I didn't move in with you. Best decision of my life.
I'm sorry, I really messed up, babe. I should never have treated you that way. But if you come back, I promise we'll do this as a team. I'll always be by your side, I promise. I promise I won't leave everything to you. Want to know why that is? Because I love you, my honey munchkin.
Don't honey munchkin me, jerk! You said the exact same thing when she got admitted to the hospital. And what happened? I ended up doing everything. You didn't even help out on your days off. You were always out drinking with your buddies while I was going to and from the hospital like a damn delivery service. If I ever had the nerve to take issue with you, you give me the same old "I'm busy with work" excuse and palm everything off on me.
I know that, babe. Everything you said is true. I treated you unfairly. But I promise things will be different this time.
It's too late. You didn't protect me from her bullying, and you forced me to do everything at the hospital while ignoring everything I said the whole time. If that wasn't bad enough, you decided we were moving in with her without so much as asking my opinion. I don't need a piece of garbage like you in my life, Eric, so you can go crawl in the trash where you belong for all I care. We're never getting back together, so just hurry up and sign the paper so we can be done with it.
No, please, please, please. I don't want a divorce.
The only reason the divorce scares you so much is because it means looking after your mom all by yourself. You don't have an honest bone in your body. I'm sick and tired of you, and I want out.
No, Luna, that's not why at all. I don't want a divorce because I love you. You're the most important person in the world to me. I just took you for granted, that's all. The truth is, I think you're way out of my league. You're beautiful, funny, kind, and caring. Meeting you was the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, I can change. I mean it. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. I'll never make you do anything you don't want to ever again. And we'll always discuss things before making decisions from now on. Please, just reconsider the divorce. Please, just give me another chance.
You already had more than enough chances. You're the one who blew him. I don't love you anymore, Eric. Scratch that. I don't even like you.
I'm so sorry. I know I messed up. Please, help me. I don't know how I'll get through this without you.
You want my help? Why would I do anything for a guy who ignored and ridiculed me when I asked him to help me? You said you'd take care of your mom's situation all on your own. Live up to your word and quit pestering me with your incessant whining. You shouldn't threaten me with divorce if you weren't willing to go through with it, coward. I had no choice but to take Eric to divorce court. However, in a hilarious irony, he was so busy trying to juggle the mammoth responsibility of working full-time and caring for his mom that he couldn't make it to the hearings. Which means I won by default, and I got my divorce without a hitch. The whole thing cost me more money and time than I would have liked, but I guess it's a small price to pay for cutting ties with a mother-in-law and husband from hell. I couldn't be more relieved that that phase of my life is over. Eric sent me a letter of apology through his lawyer after everything was finalized. Needless to say, the letter, on which nothing was written but a hastily scribbled, "Please take me back," went in the trash immediately. I guess he was too busy to write anything else. I like to think his writing was interrupted by yells of, "Son, I need the toilet again!" Realizing his only two options were to look after his mom himself or put her in a care home, he decided to try and set the wheels in motion for the latter. But his mom, who other than her bad leg, was absolutely fine and still pretty energetic for her age, was vehemently opposed to the idea and gave him the telling off of a lifetime for even suggesting it. The thought that he's far too busy to look for love again is incredibly reassuring because it means no one else will have to go through what I went through, and he has to suffer the consequences of his actions all on his own. I hope the two of them stay confined to their bitter, hostile, stress-filled world for as long as possible. That way, they won't be able to bother anyone else. I decided on a change of career while me and Eric were working through the divorce proceedings and started studying to be a carer. I passed my exams with flying colors after a year of study, and now I work full-time in a care home. You might think that's odd, but it wasn't because I didn't like the thought of looking after people that I refused to move in with Eric's mom. It was because I didn't want to look after her. Things can get stressful at work, but it's nothing compared to what I went through back then. And while I may come home exhausted every night, I know I'm making a difference in the world. And that's an amazing feeling. Want to know something else that's nice? Getting paid for my work. If I'd have been dumb enough to move in with Eric's mom, I wouldn't have seen a cent for my efforts. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't anxious about what the future might hold back at the time of the divorce, but everything went surprisingly smoothly, and I'm enjoying adjusting to my new life. I'll never suppress my feelings for the sake of another person, again. Because if we do that, whose life are we really living? My number one priority is my own happiness from here on out. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll meet someone to share it with.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Dad, I want to come home. I'm so uncomfortable living with this guy I don't know.
Huh? What are you talking about? Don't be silly, honey. Of course you know him. You're living with Mr. Fritz.
But me and him have nothing to do with each other. Why do I have to live at your boss's house? I know you said it was for my own good, but did you really mean that? You brought and left me here one day all of a sudden. Then you had all my belongings sent here. Isn't this all just a little too much? You never even asked me whether I wanted any of this.
Molly, the reason I did this is because I want you to be happy. If you live with my boss, you get to eat luxurious, expensive foods every day. Plus, all of your tuition fees for that elite technical school you've got your heart set on will be covered. Don't you think these are some pretty attractive benefits? I have my debts to think about too, you know. As much as it pains me, I couldn't realize my dreams for you by myself. At least this way, you get to live the life you want, right? You understand, don't you, Cupcake? I wanted to give you a life free of worry and financial hardship.
You didn't have to do that. I never asked you to realize my dreams for me. As for the tuition fees for the technical school, there are scholarships, and I could always find a part-time job and save up money that way.
Oh, Molly. What will it take for you to understand? The real world is a lot harsher and more unforgiving than you think.
Anyway, living with your boss isn't worth any of those things. I hate it here and I want to come home. He always stares at me with these creepy eyes. It makes me so uncomfortable you wouldn't believe. I feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder and worrying about what he'll do next. Please, Dad, I'm reaching my emotional limit.
Like hell he'd do something like that. Are you claiming my boss is some kind of weirdo? Don't insult him like that.
It's the truth. Please believe me. I don't have any friends in school, so there isn't even anyone else I can talk to about this. I feel totally alone. I'm begging you, Dad. I can't take it anymore. He sends chills down my spine. I'm not exaggerating. He's literally the creepiest guy I've ever met. What am I supposed to do?
Calm down, Molly. Okay? You think too much. How big do you think the age gap between you and my boss is? He's almost 30 years older than you. Do you seriously think someone old enough to be your dad would be interested in you in that way?
Huh? I messaged you exactly because I think that. Why are you ignoring what I say? I love you, Dad. How could you do this to me? What's going on with you? What are you thinking? I don't recognize you anymore. I'm your own daughter. I'm telling you I'm struggling and need your help, and you don't even believe me? You're the worst.
Sorry, Cupcake. I'd love to do something about it, but that's just not going to be possible given my position right now. I mean, I already moved house, which is why you have nowhere to live except my boss's place now.
What? What did you do with the house?
I sold it.
Oh my God, are you joking? That house was full of memories of Mom, and you sold it? You sold it without even telling me.
What else was I supposed to do, Cupcake? I was late on my debt repayments and they weren't gonna pay themselves. Your mom is probably cheering me on from heaven, you know? She wouldn't want to see me struggling financially.
Why didn't you even talk to me about it? Surely that was the least you could have done. That house was full of our memories together as a family. It was the only place I truly felt at home. The only place I felt like Mom was still somehow with us in some way. Why would you do this?
So you could go and live with Mr. Fritz.
Listen to me, Dad. Is there really no way I can come and live with you? Was this really just so you could pay off your debts?
Of course it was, Cupcake.
You wouldn't lie to me, right? You wouldn't hide anything from me, right?
Like I said, you're living there to help me pay off my debts. Listen, the bottom line here is that you have nowhere to live except Mr. Fritz's house. And there's nothing either of us can do to change that. You only have 6 months of high school left now. You do want to graduate high school, don't you? If you moved out now, you'd have to drop out of school. And you'd enter the world of work as a middle school graduate. Do you know what that kind of life would look like? Do you? Is that what you want? If it's not, then please get through this somehow, Cupcake. Do it for your future. You probably just feel anxious because you're not used to living with my boss yet. He's a great guy, you'll see. If you could just do your best to hold out a little longer, taking things one day at a time, I'm sure you'll get used to him. If you don't, and after you graduate high school you still want out no matter what, then I'll consider some other options, okay? I want you to remember that I'm on your side, Molly, and I never abandon you, okay? Molly, where are you? Hey, answer the phone now!
I won't.
What the hell did you go and do? I just heard from my boss. He said you escaped? What the heck are you playing at?
What do you mean, what did I go and do? Do you have any idea how much he terrified me? He made me go out to a fancy restaurant with him on my birthday. When we got out, he grabbed hold of my arm and dragged me somewhere against my will. Do you know where he took me? Did he tell you? You know, don't you?
Sheesh, what's the big deal? It was just some run-of-the-mill business hotel.
Which part of that hotel had anything to do with business? I can't take it anymore. I seriously can't take anymore. Everyone has a breaking point, and this is mine. Even just thinking about it is traumatic. God, he's so gross.
Fine. I'm gonna come and pick you up. Can you at least tell me where you are?
Huh? No way am I telling you.
What? Why not? How am I supposed to help you if you won't tell me where you are? I'm really worried about you, Cupcake, so you have to tell me, okay?
You help me? You worry about me? You're the one who sold me to your freaking boss. It's nothing but lies, Dad. Do you actually think it's gonna work with me anymore? I heard everything. About how you said he could do whatever he wanted to me when I reached 18. You said that, didn't you, Dad? In return for him reversing your dismissal from the company and having him take over your debt repayments. You sold him to me in return for all of that, didn't you?
Don't be ridiculous. You don't really believe that, do you, Cupcake? What kind of dad sells their own daughter?
You. It was my birthday today. You knew that when you sold me. I don't want anything to do with you ever again. You could disappear off the face of the earth and I wouldn't care. I wish you at least had the decency to get the hell out of my life before you put me through this hellish ordeal, though.
Get out of your life? You're just being silly now. Anyway, get back to Mr. Fritz's house at once. Your whining is tedious, and I'm done listening to it. Did you hear me? I said get back to my boss's house right now. Can you do this for me? For your dad? Please, Cupcake.
I won't go back, and I won't do anything you say. Someone more important than you or your boss helped me out. It's all over now.
Huh? Someone more important than me or my boss? What are you talking about? I'm your dad, which means I can do whatever I want with you. Is this how you repay me for all the time, effort, and money I put into raising you? With spite and disobedience?
I don't want to believe it, that you don't love me. It was such a shock because I loved you. And I mean, what daughter wants to accept their own dad would do something like that to them? But you know what? I'm actually pleased. Because there's nothing more reassuring than the promise of one's own safety. And I have that now. Bye.
Hey! Just you wait! Molly! President Cooper,
Oh, I see you still haven't been arrested.
I'd appreciate if I could speak to you one more time about the matter of what happened recently. I want to ask if you'll at least allow me the privilege of meeting my daughter one last time.
Mr. White, my old employee, what are you talking about? You don't have a daughter, do you?
Please, sir, respectfully, but I don't think this is the time for jokes. I'm talking about Molly. I implore you not to believe a word she says. It's nothing but baseless lies and deluded fantasy. She lost her mother at a very early age, and as a result, she's very emotionally unstable and has a tendency to say inappropriate things. That's why I need you to believe me when I tell you neither me nor Mr. Fritz have done anything worthy of criticism.
You were never any good at your job, Mr. White, and you were one of the least enthusiastic employees I've ever seen. In spite of that, I still believed in you for some reason, but I had no idea you were the kind of dirtbag who'd sell your daughter.
Sir, I must reiterate my previous point that I did not, in fact, sell my daughter.
I'm not interested in hearing your excuses. You just said Molly's claims were deluded fantasy, didn't you? Me and my wife just saw her running away from Mr. Fritz, one of our former executives and your old boss, at a hotel. If what she's saying is deluded fantasy, what do you suppose it was that we saw? Baseless lies? Emotional instability?
No, certainly, sir. You make a compelling case, and wow, I must say, you put it so eloquently, too. Truly a man worthy of the esteemed title of CEO. The problem is that the story you post seems to differ slightly from the version of events I myself was aware of.
Do you still have no idea the gravity of what you've done? You sold your own daughter to your boss for no other reason than to pay off your debts, concerned with nothing more but your own self-preservation. Mr. Fritz has already been arrested. I find the thought of people as depraved as you two working at my company quite frankly terrifying. And I will stop at nothing to ensure your total eradication from the company ranks once and for all.
President Cooper, what's going to happen to me? I won't really be arrested, will I? Isn't there anything you can do about this? You know, pull some strings, make some phone calls? You're a very powerful man, after all. Please, allow me to take this opportunity to once again apologize sincerely for my careless mistake 2 months ago that led to our company losing a major client. I swear to commit my life to serving you and this company to the utmost of my ability. Please, allow me another chance to prove myself and make all this go away somehow. I'll do anything. being allowed the great privilege of entering this fine company was the only thing I've ever been proud of in my entire life. Give it a rest, you sniveling weasel. You prioritize your own financial well-being over your daughter's physical safety and mental health, and you call yourself a father? She's your flesh and blood. I feel genuine horror when I reflect on what you did. I feel actual insanity in your words when I listen to your groveling, sycophantic brown-nosing after the fact. Entering my company is the only thing you've ever been proud of, you say? Where's your pride as a father? Well, you evidently never felt any in the first place. I can't tolerate people like you. And I feel confident in saying that the majority of the other 8 billion people on the planet are with me on that one. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Excuse me? I take it this means you don't care what happens to your company. What are you trying to say? Your company's reputation will be destroyed over this. You'll lose your position in society, and no one will want to risk doing business with you again. Because you employed someone like me. There'll be no end to the anonymous criticism and harassment campaigns you'll be subjected to. And you'll be lampooned from all angles. Everything you worked so hard to build will come to ruin. It'll only be a matter of time before you go bankrupt. However, if I remain here, that can all be avoided. If you can use your power and influence to prove my innocence against these hurtful accusations, that is, Mr. Fritz did this all on his own after all, didn't he? How does that sound? Do we have an arrangement? I think you'll agree that this isn't a bad offer for you. In fact, I think you might find it quite beneficial. You're a smart man, Cooper. I think you understand what I'm saying. So what'll it be, President? Will you work with me on this? I see. Interesting. Not a bad idea for someone so bad at his job, huh? Sorry, Mr. White, but the only outcome I'm interested in here is one that involves you being behind bars wearing orange. Huh? Please, look at this online news site. Hang on, I'll send you the link. Silicon Valley CEO rescues 18-year-old high school student is the name of the article. Huh? What? Seems like it's going viral. I caught a glimpse of it on both the local and national news programs too. It really seems to be doing the rounds. No names have been released, so pretty much nothing has changed at the company for me or any of the employees. Did you read the article? They're singing my praises like you wouldn't believe. You should take a look. It's very relevant to you. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on a second! This has to be fake, right? Don't you think the contents are a little too accurate for it to be fake? Not a hint of criticism or a single negative portrayal of me. This can't be happening! Anyway, even if my company did go bankrupt, I'd just start over and rebuild from scratch. I am in the very favorable position of having more money than I know what to do with. Not to mention the many connections I forged with key players in the industry over the years. Your fate is already decided. President Cooper, please! I'm begging you! Please, help me somehow! There has to be something you can do! I don't deserve this! I'm about to take these chat logs to the police station where they'll be submitted as evidence. Would you like to add anything final before I do? Forgive me for cutting the conversation short, but you're irritating me now. Please do something! Anything! I'm begging you! Now it's your turn. I'm selling you to the police.
My dad was arrested immediately after, and he and his old boss, Mr. Fritzl, were sentenced to hard prison time. I was so overjoyed and relieved by the news that they wouldn't get out for at least a few years that I cried. When Mr. Cooper, the CEO of my dad's old company, stepped in to help me, I asked him, "Why would you help me, a complete stranger?" As human beings, our highest priority is ultimately ourselves, and while those around us may be in trouble, they're still just strangers in the end. There's no meaning or merit to be had in helping them, right? Or so I thought. That's what I asked him, almost without thinking. Speaking honestly at the time, I genuinely saw no point in spending my time helping people I had no connection to. Mr. Cooper just said, I know better than anyone what it feels like to be overwhelmed with gratitude and joy when someone helps you in your hour of need. And with no further elucidation, dropped me off in front of his house with his wife. Initially, it seemed like I'd have no choice but to go into a care home because I had no relatives to speak of. But Mr. Cooper's wife hugged me tightly and through floods of tears kindly said to me, "Molly, you're more than welcome to live here with me and my husband for as long as you need, if it's what you want, of course." I accepted and lived with the two of them for about 2 months. I'm certain it was thanks to Mr. Cooper I was able to stay there, and I'll be eternally grateful for the way he was there for me when I needed a helping hand more than ever. This all happened a few years ago, and now I'm working happily at Mr. Cooper's company, which he renamed and relocated not long after the whole Mr. Fritzl incident. The new HQ isn't too far from Mr. and Mrs. Cooper's house, which gives me great peace of mind in the event that there's any kind of emergency. He stressed empathetically that I didn't have to work at his company out of any obligation to him, and encouraged me only to stay if it was what I truly wanted. But what I truly want is to repay the debt of gratitude I owe to the man who saved my life. I still think about what happened back then from time to time, back when I had no friends or a soul in the world to rely on, and even my own family couldn't be trusted. I'm so happy now that that period in my life almost feels like a dream. Now I'm blessed with a workplace that's full of laughter, a close group of friends the same age as me, and a new family. I want to continue my life with a positive, outward-facing attitude. Just like my role models, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Gina, I'm really sorry, sweet cheeks. I'm gonna be home late tonight.
Oh, hey, Kingsley. What happened? Are you doing overtime again?
So I just got a message out of the blue from Anthony. He invited me to go out drinking with him and the boys tonight. He's my old classmate from high school. It's been so long since we saw each other. Thought it might be nice to catch up. You remember him? I think you guys did meet before.
Anthony. Didn't he live out of state?
He said he had some business to attend down here, so he's back in Iowa for the week. He said he didn't think we'd get the chance to link up again, so he invited me for the hell of it.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, sure thing, honey. I don't mind. Just make sure you don't drink too much, okay? I remember what you boys used to be like when you got together and alcohol was involved. You also have the strange tendency of sleeping absolutely anywhere and everywhere when you're drunk, so be careful, okay?
Don't worry, babe. Worst comes to worst, I'll probably end up staying the night at Anthony's crib. Well, when I say crib, he's staying at his mom and dad's place while he's back down here in Iowa.
Alright. Don't go causing his parents any bother, okay? I want you on your best behavior. I remember his mom and dad being the loveliest folks. Oh, I'm sorry, Kingsley. Someone's calling me. I have to go.
Okay, babe. I'm still on my break right now. I'm gonna chill in the canteen for a little while longer.
Kingsley, what should I do?
Huh? Did something happen? Is this about the phone call you just got? What happened, babe? Is everything okay?
It was the doctor from the hospital my mom's staying in. He said she just took a turn for the worst.
What? A turn for the worst? Oh man, you serious?
Yes. Kingsley, what should I do? I should just drop everything and go right now, shouldn't I?
Of course you should. You're her daughter. You should be there for her.
You're right, I should. But what do I do about picking Chrissy up from kindergarten? I don't know if I have the time to call them and tell them I'll be a lot later than usual. Oh no, we have to tell your parents too. What should I do?
Chill, babe. Everything's gonna be alright. Working yourself up into a panic won't do anyone any good. Your mom needs you to think straight for her. Deep breaths, okay? Let's calm down before we do anything. Anyway, now isn't the time to be worrying about my parents.
I do have to leave Chrissy at kindergarten though.
It's fine, don't sweat it. I'll pick her up. You just focus on your mom right now, okay? With the situation being what it is, shouldn't be a problem for me to dip out of work early. It's not like this happens all the time. Leave it with me. I'll have a word with the boss. I'll let my parents know what's going on too, so don't worry about them.
Are you sure? Thanks so much, honey. This is a huge help.
It's nothing. We're a team after all. I want you to go and be with your mom as soon as you possibly can. That only leaves. What would you say are the chances you'll end up staying the night at the hospital?
I have a feeling I will. To tell you the truth, I have no idea how long I'm actually going to be there with her.
Well, in that case, I'll bring some basic essentials and a couple of changes of clothes as soon as I can make it out of there. It'll take me some time to get everything ready and see to Chrissy. So I'll head out to you first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'm so sorry to trouble you with all this. I know you're busy, sweetie. I hate the idea of leaving you with all the stuff to do, especially looking after Chrissy all on your own.
It is what it is, babe. Can't be helped. Anyway, you're officially banned from worrying about me. Focus on your mom, okay? Anyway, enough fretting over stuff that doesn't matter. Get yourself to the hospital. Thought of you not making it in time? This is no laughing matter, babe. Doesn't even bear thinking about what might happen if you take too long. Just go.
You're right. Okay, I'm going now. Me and Chrissy are counting on you, honey. I'll be waiting for you with Mom at the hospital. See you soon, and thanks again.
Gina, what on earth are you doing?
Oh, Gertrude, I'm sorry. I must have fallen asleep. Sorry I missed your calls. What's up?
You fell asleep? At this time? What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. But I've been through a lot today. I'm totally exhausted, physically and mentally. I'm sorry if I worried you over what's going on with my mom.
Huh? What do you mean what's going on with your mom? What are you talking about?
Huh? Wait, what? You mean you weren't calling about my mom?
I don't have the foggiest idea what all this business with your mother is. But I called you to talk about Chrissy. You know, your daughter.
Chrissy? What about her? Is everything okay? Oh no, she hasn't been causing you trouble, has she? I'm so sorry if she has. She's usually so well behaved.
I'm obviously not calling about that. What were you thinking, leaving your little girl all on her own at a night like that? She showed up at my front door crying her little eyes out. The poor thing!
What? That can't be.
Do you really think I'd be calling you like this if she didn't? I can't get through to Kingsley either. He's not answering my texts or calls. What the hell do the pair of you think you're playing at? You can't just be leaving your daughter on her own at nighttime like that. What if she'd had an accident? What if she hurt herself?
No, I'm sorry, Gertrude. But seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. That shouldn't have happened. No, this shouldn't have even been possible. I mean, it's true I wasn't there, but I didn't exactly have a choice.
What? Is this the best that both of you can do as her parents? This is totally unacceptable behavior, and you should both be very ashamed of yourselves. What could be so important that it would justify leaving your poor daughter all on her own at night?
My mom's in the hospital, and I got a call from the doctors saying she'd taken a turn for the worst. She's in a seriously bad shape, and I had no choice but to drive over to be with her. Didn't you hear anything from Kingsley about what's going on?
What? Your mother's in the hospital? That's the first I've heard of it. How could something so serious be going on? And I don't know anything about it.
My mom's condition deteriorated really quickly. I was going to message you, but I thought if I didn't move quickly, I might not make it to the hospital to be with her in time, so I left it to Kingsley. He said he was going to let you know. Time was of the essence, so I rushed straight to the hospital. Did Chrissy really show up at your house totally on her own? Like, Kingsley wasn't with her?
That's right. She arrived about 10 minutes ago. She said she walked here by herself. She was crying her eyes out saying Mommy and Daddy never came home. I had no idea about any of this, and based on what she was saying, neither did she.
That's right. Chrissy probably didn't know I had to rush out to the hospital to be with my mom, did she?
Right. She didn't say anything about that. I'm so sorry, Gina. I probably came off as rude and angry with my first messages. I had no idea what was going on with your mother. I never meant to accuse you of anything.
It's fine, don't worry about it. You were right to be angry based on what you knew at the time. I understand. If it was me, I probably would have wanted to flip a switch too. It's only natural you'd want an explanation. But wait, more importantly, you say you can't get through to Kingsley? This doesn't add up.
I've been desperately trying to get through to him since Chrissy got here, but I'm not getting anywhere. I don't know whether he's fallen asleep or what, but it seems hopeless. That's why I messaged you. I didn't know what else to do.
I see.
I understand what's going on with you and your mother now, but Kingsley... This makes no sense. He should still be in town, shouldn't he? He still has work, and then there's Chrissy. Where would he have disappeared to? And yet, he seems to have vanished. Can you think of anything? Somewhere he might have gone? Someone he might be with?
It's not that I don't have any ideas at all, but...
But? Why the but? What happened?
It's hard to entertain the idea that he might have... No way, he wouldn't. Surely he wouldn't have done what I'm thinking given the gravity of the situation. I don't want to think of him as being capable of something like that.
I understand things can seem hard to accept sometimes, but if you have an idea of where he might be, please tell me, sweetie.
Well, you see, he had plans to go out drinking with his old high school buddies today. He seems like he was really looking forward to it, but that was before the doctor called me. I didn't even feel the need to mention it. I just assumed he'd canceled due to what happened.
I see. I can understand why you wouldn't want to believe he'd do something like that. You said that he went out with some high school friends. Do you happen to know who they are?
I don't know all of them, but his friend Anthony is the one who invited him. Apparently they were drinking buddies throughout college, and they were known for raising hell together. Anthony lives out of state, but apparently he came back to Iowa to stay with his parents for a week.
Anthony? Oh, him! If it's the same Anthony, I know who you're talking about. I know where he lives, and me and his mother also text each other from time to time.
Really?
Yes, we used to be good friends. Her and her husband would come over for dinner a few times a month. I'll message her first thing in the morning. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of all this. What should I do about Chrissy? It's probably best she sees her grandma at a time like this, right? Should I bring her to the hospital?
Yes, I think it's for the best. I'm really sorry to burden you like this, but would you mind? I can't even tell you what a huge help it'd be for you to bring her. It'll mean the world to my mom as well.
Of course, sweetie, I don't mind. Listen, Gina, I know I'm your mother-in-law and all, but are you okay with me being there at a time like this? I'd hate the thought of getting in the way of you sharing this precious time with your mother.
Don't be silly. Besides, anything beats little Chrissy being on her own with Kingsley after what he did to her. Ugh, I get mad just thinking about it. I think my mom will be super pleased.
If you're sure. Okay, it's settled then. Me and Chrissy will be heading out to the hospital first thing tomorrow morning. I'll do what I can about Kingsley's situation on my end. I want you to forget about him for the time being. You just focus on enjoying your time with your mother, okay, sweetie?
Okay, I will. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you at the hospital.
Sorry to message you so early like this, Mom. Listen, Chrissy wouldn't happen to be at your place, would she?
I see you finally woke up. Do you have any idea how desperately I was trying to get through to you yesterday?
But Mom, it's about Chrissy. Do you know where she is? She wasn't here when I woke up this morning. I can't find her anywhere.
She wasn't there when you woke up? Stop lying.
What? Lying? I'm not, I swear. I'm not lying at all. Why would you say that?
You left your poor daughter all on her own so you could go out drinking with your friends. I'm guessing you got blackout drunk and being no longer able to walk or form basic sentences fell asleep, right? That's what happened, isn't it? Let me guess, when you woke up in a half-drunken stupor and stumbled home, you realized your daughter was nowhere to be seen, and now you're panicking. Bullseye or bullseye.
Huh? What are you even talking about? Stop talking crap! Do you have even a single piece of evidence for these wild, hurtful accusations you're making against me?
How dare you speak to your mother like that, boy? Yes, I do have evidence, as a matter of fact, because I rang Anthony's mother and she told me everything. You had too much to drink and fell asleep on her sofa. Do you seriously think these lies are going to get you anywhere?
Now that you mention it, things did maybe kind of go down like you said. But Mom, this isn't about me right now. Forget all that and help me find Chrissy. Do you know where she is or not? If you don't, come help me find her. She could be in danger.
Don't worry, Kingsley, the only time she was ever in danger is when she was under your care. Chrissy's with me and Gina right now.
Huh? Why?
Because she showed up at my front door crying her eyes out in the middle of the night. Mommy and Daddy never came home, is all she was saying in between the floods of tears. I've never seen her in such a bad way. She was terrified and stressed out like you wouldn't believe. Gina told me that you'd take care of her. In spite of that, you were nowhere to be seen when you were needed the most. What the hell were you playing at, boy?
Wait, what? How do you know about that? Oh, did Gina tell you?
Obviously, dimwit. I'd also like to know why you didn't tell me Gina's mother had taken a turn for the worst. I was so out of the loop. I went out all guns blazing and as good as accused Gina of being a bad mother. You failed your daughter and you failed me. I'm beyond disgusted with you.
I'm real sorry, Mom. It's just that, well, Chrissy fell asleep as soon as I got home. So I didn't think heading out for a couple of drinks with the old high school crew would do any harm. I didn't think it'd come to this. I thought everything would be fine, I swear!
A couple of drinks? You stayed the night at Anthony's mother's sofa. Which part of this is fine?
Why you gotta be so mad with me, Mom? It's not like I did it on purpose. Besides, if Chrissy's safe with you guys, that's all that matters. All's well that ends well, right? No harm done. I'm super relieved. Listen, I'm gonna be on my way to the hospital as soon as the buses start running. Keep an eye on Gina and Chrissy for me until I get there, okay, Mom? Thanks a bunch.
Excuse me? You can't be serious. Don't talk such nonsense. You're not welcome here. Do not come to this hospital under any circumstances.
Nonsense? You're the one talking nonsense. Why wouldn't I come to be with my family? My mother-in-law's at death's door, and you're telling me I can't come and see her for what may well be the last time? I can't not go. That's inhuman. Stop this right now. Gina's probably waiting for me to come too. She needs me right now.
That's where you're wrong. In fact, Gina's the only one who told me that you could not come. She said she has no intention of letting a low-life scumbag who'd leave his own daughter completely on her own in the middle of the night to get blackout drunk with his friends. Meet her seriously ill mother.
What? You're joking, right?
Do you really think this is the time for jokes? In any case, the only joke here is if you actually think she'd want you anywhere near her after your despicable behavior. I take it you understand now. If you don't want to cause any more problems than you already have, I suggest you wait patiently at home for Gina to come back or get in touch with you. Gina and Chrissy's main priority is her mother right now, and you have no right to intrude on that. I wouldn't want to be with you if you actually had the nerve to disrespect her wishes again after everything you've done. Having you in their way at the hospital is the last thing they need.
Gina, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry about going out drinking with the boys. I'm sorry about Chrissy. I'm sorry I didn't tell my mom. Please, find it in your heart to forgive me. Or at least answer my calls. Pretty please with a cherry on top.
You've been doing this since yesterday. You just can't take a hint, can you? You were clearly told to wait for me to contact you. You knew how bad of a shape my mom was in, didn't you?
Whew, you finally responded. Thanks, babe. I'm so sorry, I really am. I'm ashamed of myself for the way I behaved. Just because Chrissy fell asleep was no excuse to go out drinking with my friends. Especially what was going on with your mom. It was irresponsible of me.
If you understand that, this conversation is already over. What you did was despicable. You're the worst of the worst. You can't seriously think I'm going to forgive you for this.
No, I don't. I have no right to be forgiven for what I did. I just wanted to come to the hospital to see how your mom's doing. She might be my mother-in-law, but that still makes me her son. She's important to me. How can I not be with you at your mother's bedside at a time like this? I'm your husband. We're family.
You don't need to come and see how she's doing. My mother passed away early this morning.
What? Your mom passed away?
It's hard to be sure given how she was, but I think I felt her energy change when Chrissy showed up. She seemed happy, content. She died peacefully in her sleep after that. I'm pleased we could both be there for her last moments. That's the only thing I'm grateful to you for.
Wait a second. Oh my god. Are you serious? Your mom? She's gone?
Do you think I'd lie about something like this? I wouldn't. I'm not like you.
I had no idea. Why didn't you call me?
Whose fault do you think it is that I didn't?
Why would you do this to me at such an important time? I don't blame you for being angry. You have every right to be after what I did. But to think you wouldn't let your husband, her son-in-law, see her one last time before she... How could you? Did you even think about how bad this would look? How much it would affect my reputation to be banned from being there for my own mother-in-law's passing?
What the hell does your reputation have to do with anything? It can hit rock bottom for all I care. You deserve it. Besides, I'm actually pleased things turned out this way. Can you imagine how torn up my mom would have been if we'd been at each other's throats at the hospital while she lied on her deathbed? This is the best end I could have hoped for.
Fine, I get it. There's no point in squabbling over this now anyway. What's done is done.
Great. I'm glad you finally understand.
So what's next? We'll have to make arrangements for the funeral now, right? I'll make my way to you guys now and we can get started with it all ASAP.
Didn't I make it clear enough that we don't want to see you? You do nothing but get in our way. Don't you dare come.
Oh, come on, Gina. Don't you think you've punished me enough already? Give me a break, would ya? I understand you're upset, but you can't just go losing your temper like a little kid every time I say something. How long are you gonna keep this up? I'm your husband, and she was my mom-in-law. Are you seriously suggesting I don't come to the funeral? That's ridiculous, and you know it. I mean, really. Please, start thinking a little more before you speak.
That's rich coming from you. Don't you think maybe you should take your own advice? How about you think before you speak? You went out drinking with your pals when your mother-in-law was on her deathbed. You left our 5-year-old daughter completely on her own in the middle of the night. Give me one good reason why I should stay married to a lowlife capable of treating his family like that.
Whoa, 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 just wait a second. Wait one goddamn freaking second. You're not seriously considering divorcing me over this, are you?
What would you do if I said I was?
Let's just cool our heads and discuss this like adults. There's no doubt about it. I've behaved despicably and I know it. You won't get any argument from me on that one. But think about what you're actually suggesting here for a second. Chrissy's only 5 years old. How can you seriously be talking about divorce over something like this when we have her future to think about? We owe this to her as her parents.
Over something like this? How can you say that with a straight face? Are you serious?
Come on, babe, give me a break here. I said I know I messed up. I'm not trying to claim otherwise. It's just the way I said it was clumsy, that's all. I don't look on what I did lightly, I swear. I've had a long, hard think about what I did, and I feel awful about it. I'm so sorry, I swear I am.
If you felt any genuine remorse, you wouldn't be callous or inconsiderate enough to try to downplay what you did as if it was no big deal, and you wouldn't try and paint me as some overreacting drama queen. You say how we have to think about Chrissy, but Chrissy or my mom obviously didn't mean enough to you to prevent you from doing what you did.
Come on, babe, you're just twisting my words now. This isn't fair. I never tried to downplay anything. I'm just saying this doesn't justify going straight off the deep end and discussing divorce before we've even had a chance to calm down and process what's happened. Surely you understand what I'm saying here.
For me, this justifies divorce. The fact you won't even try and understand how I'm feeling means I'm making the right decision. I'll be getting started with the divorce procedures as soon as the funeral's over.
No, wait! Please, baby! Please think this through one more time. Surely you don't have to rush like this. I accept how you feel, I do. But surely it wouldn't hurt to wait a little longer before making your mind up? Besides, your mom would be really sad if she knew we were divorcing. Is that what you want? To upset your mom in heaven?
How dare you speak of what my mom would want as if you have any idea? You disgust me. If you must know how she'd feel about this, she'd be furious with me if I didn't divorce you for what you did. I'm doing this as much to honor her memory as I am for myself. How do you think she'd feel about me staying with a man who cared so little for his daughter that he'd leave her alone like that? I'd be crazy not to divorce you. It'd be the ultimate insult to my mother's memory.
What are you saying? How can you speak as if you have any idea what someone who isn't even with us anymore would want? There's no way of knowing what she'd think.
You mean like you just did? And please, how long do you think I've been her daughter? I know her better than anyone. I know she loved me enough to know I deserved better than to put up with the behavior of the likes of a deadbeat husband like you. All you need to do is be quiet and accept the divorce. I don't want to hear another word from you. You sicken me. Divorcing you is my final act of love towards my mother. After planning the funeral and giving my mom the send-off she deserved with the help of my mother-in-law, I went home and slammed the divorce papers down on the table in front of Kingsley. There was a degree of resistance to begin with, but I made it abundantly clear I'd take him to court if he continued to refuse. He could tell I was being serious by the tone of my voice, and he backed down and signed the papers. Given my track record as a diligent mother, I won custody of Chrissy without issue. I made claims against Kingsley for compensation and child support, which he's now obligated to pay. To tell you the truth, I did initially expect some resistance from Chrissy regarding the divorce, but to my surprise, she agreed to it all surprisingly quickly. I find this out afterwards, but apparently this wasn't the first time he'd left her on her own. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, and her patience had run out with him once and for all. She seemed surprisingly unfazed when she found out it'd just be me and her from now on. However, irrespective of how she may seem on the outside, he is still her dad, and I know it's only natural that this will affect her in ways she doesn't know how to express or feel comfortable talking about. Which is why I intend to treat her with nothing but the love, warmth, kindness, and patience she deserves as we begin our new life together. Just like my mom, who was kind and loving until the very end, and my mother-in-law, who had my back to the extent of making an enemy of her own son. I'll always be there for Chrissy through thick and thin, no matter what.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Oh, sorry, Zach. Take care of Anna for me, will you?
Anna's fine. It's a friend's funeral, right? Go and take your time.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, I don't know what I would do without you. I'll get home as soon as possible.
Got it. I'll take care of things.
Thanks again. The diapers and powdered milk are on the table. I also wrote down what needs to be done on a note. Take a look at it if you don't know what to do. I'll bathe her when I come back, so...
I get it. You've said this over and over already.
But it's your first time taking care of Anna on your own, right? Usually you're too busy with work.
Anna's a well-behaved baby, so it should be fine. I'll look it up on the internet if there's something I don't know.
Well, I guess. Call me immediately if something happens, all right? I'll get home as soon as possible if so.
Yeah. You really do worry too much.
But, oh, I really can't help but worry.
You already did all the preparation before going, and Anna's still asleep. You know what? I should go and take a nap with Anna.
Really? I guess that's fine, but just don't sleep next to her, all right?
What? Why not?
You might crush her in your sleep. Things like that happen more often than you might think.
All right, I got it. Anna will sleep in her cradle, and I'll sleep on the couch.
Check if she has milk and change her diapers when you wake up, all right?
Mrs. Jones, is everything all right? I'll come and help you if you need some help, okay?
Miss Carter, what is it suddenly?
I'm pretty sure Anna's been crying for at least 1 hour now. She usually doesn't cry, so... She's crying pretty loudly. Is everything all right? I'm sorry if I'm just bothering you, though. I just couldn't ignore it.
An hour? Are you sure that's our house?
What? Isn't she crying? Are you at home?
Actually, I'm not home right now.
What? You're not at home?
Yes, I'm currently at an acquaintance's funeral and left my husband, Zach, at home to take care of Anna. Oh, something must have happened if she's been crying for an hour now. I'll ask Zach about it.
I see. You should call your husband as soon as possible. Maybe Anna's having trouble with the new environment. I could go and help if you like.
Thanks, that would really help a lot.
It's nothing. I can't just ignore it, can I? Sorry if I'm being too nosy.
Zach, is Anna all right? I got a text from our neighbor, Miss Carter, saying that Anna's been crying really loudly for an hour now. Text me as soon as possible, all right? Zach, is everything all right over there? Miss Carter says she'll come by and help if you're having trouble. Text me as soon as you see this, all right? Zach? What are you doing? Oh, did something happen? Answer me, please. Miss Carter, my husband won't answer my calls. Can you still hear Anna crying?
Yep, she's still crying. Your husband won't answer?
Yes. Oh, he usually answers my text immediately, but I doubt he's still asleep when Anna's crying right next to him. Oh, what should I do? I wonder if something's happened.
Maybe your husband's collapsed or something?
What? Oh, I hope not.
It's strange that he won't answer, isn't it? Something must have happened. Should I go and check on your house, Mrs. Jones?
Will you do that for me, please?
You should come home as soon as possible, Mrs. Jones.
What happened?
I rung the doorbell, but no one's answering. There's no car in the garage either. Only your husband had a license, right?
The car's gone? What?
Yes, the car's gone, but I can still hear Anna's cries from inside the house. I took a peek inside through the window near the backyard, but it doesn't look like your husband is there.
What? He's not home? But why? Anna's still crying, right? He wasn't there the whole time? What should I do?
Calm down, Mrs. Jones. I'm here to help, so calm down. I'll do what I can to help. When will you be able to get here?
Oh, it'll take at least an hour even if I hurry. What to do? I should probably call the police, right? I don't know what I'll do if something happens to Anna.
1 hour, huh? I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones, but do you mind if I break the window glass? It's been quite some time since I noticed something was wrong, and there's really no time to wait. It would be quicker if I just went it than if you called the police.
Yes, do it! I don't mind if you break the glass, so just get in there and see what's happening, will you please? Oh, I'm really so sorry. I'll get there as soon as I can.
Mrs. Jones, I brought Anna over to my house. Don't worry, she's all right. It looks like her throat's dry from crying too much, though. I changed her diapers and gave her some milk, so she should be fine.
Is that so? I'm glad she's fine, I guess. Truly, I am in your debt.
He wasn't home, and it looks like he still hasn't returned either.
The car was gone, so I guess it has to be expected. Will you take care of Anna for me a bit longer, please? I know I'm causing you a lot of trouble. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Of course I'll take care of her. Don't worry about it. I'm just glad Anna's all right. It looks like she tired herself out, though. She drank some milk and looks like she's about to fall asleep now.
I see. Oh, thank you again so much for your help. I don't know what I would have done without you.
It's fine, really. Anna's the one who had a hard time, not me. Just come home quickly and give her a hug, will you?
Yes, thank you so much.
Mary, it's an emergency! What should I do?
What's wrong? You left Anna alone and haven't replied to my text in hours.
That's not important right now! We've been robbed!
Robbed?
Yep, the house was robbed while I was gone. The window's been broken. Anna's gone too. She was in the cradle when I left.
And?
What do you mean, and? We've been robbed, don't you get it? I get home and I find the house like this.
You got home and you found the house was robbed and that Anna was gone?
I'm telling you that's what happened. I'm calling the cops, all right? Anna's been kidnapped too.
No need to call the police. Anyways, you're telling me that you left Anna alone in the house and went off somewhere? Where did you go?
I just went to the convenience store nearby. And when I get home, the window was broken and Anna isn't there.
The convenience store nearby? You were away for a few minutes and all that happened, you say?
Yes! All I did was go to the convenience store.
You went to the convenience store that's a 4-minute walk from our house by car and have been there since noon? What were you doing at the convenience store for that long?
What? How do you know I left at noon?
Our neighbor, Mrs. Carter, heard Anna crying and checked on the house. She says you weren't there and that the car was gone. We were so worried that something might have happened to Anna, so I asked her to break the window and check on her. It's not a robbery. Anna and I are now at my parents' house.
So it wasn't a robbery?
Miss Carter told me something was wrong, so I came home as soon as possible. I texted you at noon, didn't I? Miss Carter was worried since Anna's cries wouldn't stop, which is why she called. You didn't see my texts?
Oh, I didn't notice.
It's loud at the casino, I guess, huh?
What? The casino?
You lose awareness of your surroundings when you focus, right? No wonder you didn't notice my texts.
I really just went to the convenience store for a few minutes.
Oh, do you really think I'll believe that? You're telling me you went to the convenience store even after you noticed Anna was gone? I'm impressed at your lies.
But it's true. Why won't you believe me?
Oh, just cut it out, will you? It seems that this hobby of yours is more important than your own daughter. I heard from someone that they saw you at the casino you always go to.
What? Who said that? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I couldn't contact you, so I asked your friends whether they had seen you or not. Someone said they saw you at the casino, so I went over to take a look. And then I found your car in the parking lot. I really couldn't believe it.
So you caught me. That's what I get for not checking my phone.
You left your infant child to go to the casino. Just what were you thinking?
But she's fine, right?
She's fine? I fail to see what part of the situation is fine.
She's still an infant who can't walk, so who cares if I leave her in the house alone? It's not like something would have happened, you know? She was asleep anyways.
Just what are you talking about? Didn't you think that she might wake up and start crying? She can't do anything on her own, you know? Honestly, the nerve you must have to leave your infant daughter alone in the house for hours to go to the casino. I just can't believe it. What were you planning on doing if something had happened to Anna?
What is it with you? You shouldn't have left me with Anna in the first place if you're gonna be this strict with me.
What? Do you even understand what you just did?
Huh? But nothing happened, didn't it? Our neighbor, too, was way too tense. Why'd she have to break the window? She didn't even clean up her mess.
What? Are you an idiot? Everything was fine only because Miss Carter came and helped. Do you really not understand even after all I said? I am not coming back to that house anymore.
What? Why?
I can't live with someone who would just do what you did without the slightest regret. You don't even think what you did was wrong, do you? And you even have the nerve to get mad.
Huh? I'm saying that I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're the one who left your infant daughter alone for half a day because you wanted to go to the casino, right? Just what were you thinking? I'm going to be telling your parents about what happened, okay? I'm even considering divorce.
What are you talking about? You're making such a big deal out of this.
The fact that you think that this isn't a big deal is enough reason for me to leave you. You know that babies are weak and need their parents to take care of them, right? They can't even walk or drink milk on their own. Luckily, nothing happened this time, but you should consider what might have happened in the worst-case scenario.
But it'll be hard for you if we get divorced, you know? What will you do?
I'm pretty sure continuing to live with someone like you will be much harder, if not outright dangerous.
Reconsider this, please. I'll be more careful from now on.
No thanks. I just can't believe what you say anymore. I don't want to see your texts or your face anymore. Anna and I are already tired and want to go to bed. So, goodbye then.
Wait! What should I do about the window? I don't take care of things on my own, you know? Don't leave me!
What are you saying? You'll be fine. You can walk and cook for yourself, right? It'll be fine if I just leave you there at the house. I decided to divorce Zach after that. Of course, I'm the one who took custody of Anna and am now living a normal life with the help of my parents. Thanks to Miss Carter, Anna is healthy and is quickly getting big. Once things settled down after the divorce, I went to give her my thanks. Apparently, one day she heard a bunch of shouting. It must have been Zach's parents scolding him for what he did. He used the money he had saved up and the money he got by selling the house on my alimony and on child support. Apparently, Zach's father was a very strict person and couldn't forgive him for what he did. So, he forced Zach to quit his job and became a monk at a local temple. Apparently, the temple was known for being really strict and old-fashioned. Zach couldn't take it and tried many times to escape, but was always immediately caught, it seems. He continues to do the grueling work given to him by the temple to this day. I pray that he is reborn a better person.
How was it, Emily?
How was what?
Your new job, how was the environment and stuff? Was it alright?
You worry too much. It was only the first day, you know. I'm still trying to memorize everything I need to do.
I guess so. But it's your first job in a while, right? I'm just worried that something might have happened.
Work is hard for everyone, you know. Besides, we communicate by text, so it's quite convenient. Even me, the deaf person, can get by. I mean, it might be because of the times, but it's nice that there's a way to communicate with each other even with masks on.
I see. That must be nice, I guess.
Also, the person I work with loves dogs. We had a lot of fun talking about them. I even showed her a picture of our dog Sumi.
Already slacking off at work, are we? Well, I'm glad the workplace environment seems friendly.
Yep, I'm just glad I'm able to work again on design.
I'm happy for you. I was feeling kind of guilty that you had to quit your previous job just because I found a new one and had to move. Especially since it seemed that you got along with your colleagues so well at your previous company. But it looks like things will go well. Finding a new job was hard, wasn't it?
It's not your fault, Jacob. My number one priority is to be with you. That's what makes me happy.
Thanks. I too am just glad that I'm able to spend every day with you, Emily.
Oh, it's time for me to eat lunch. See you later. Good luck with work.
Got it. Have fun today, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me to your house, Emily. Sumi was so cute. Dogs are such treasures, aren't they?
Thanks for coming today, Kimberly. Sumi looks so happy getting to play with someone. Come and visit anytime you like.
Well, if you say so, I think I'll come visit you every week. Your cooking was so good. I'll make sure to tell everyone at work.
It wasn't that good. I wanted to thank you for helping me at work always. I'm deaf, so I can't speak very well either. We mostly communicate by text, but still, there are times when we have to speak, right? It's a real help to have you at times like that. Even today, we had to rely on our smartphones to communicate. Thanks for spending some time with me even though it had nothing to do with work.
Don't worry about it. You helped me sometime at work, right? Either way, you're so lucky to have such a handsome husband. I was even taken aback when I first saw him. He even works at a famous company, right? I couldn't ask with the two of you right in front of me, but how did you two meet?
We met through a mutual friend. I don't deserve such a kind husband, right?
Yep, you're disabled after all. He's such a kind person, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. I just thought that someone like him could get any girl he wanted. I'm not saying that you're not fit to be his wife or anything.
It's fine. It's not like this is new to me.
Really? You're not mad? I shouldn't have called you disabled, right? Should I have said person with disability or person with special needs instead? Sorry, I really don't understand all the politically correct stuff, you know.
I really don't mind. Some places call me a person with special needs and others call me disabled, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, I see. People like that are so strict with names, aren't they? I thought that I might have insulted you by using the wrong term, but I'm glad that it was nothing. You have one of those disability notebooks, right? I envy you.
What?
Having one is pretty convenient, right?
Well, I don't know if I could call it convenient. It's more like I have to rely on it.
You get reduced taxes for having it, right? You must save so much money. I'm healthy, so I'm afraid I won't be able to get one.
Being healthy is much better than one of these notebooks, trust me.
Well, I guess. But you don't really look disabled from the outside, Emily. You should be thankful that you're one of the luckier ones.
I've never thought about it that way.
No need to be so modest. You were probably able to get that husband of yours thanks to that notebook. Oh, it's time for me to take a bath. See you tomorrow then. Say hi to your Jacob and Sumi for me, will you? Thanks for helping me out at the gym, Jacob. It was my first time, so you were a real help.
I'm glad I was able to help. But who knew we went to the same gym? There are probably better gyms for women like you know. The place I go to is full of guys, you know.
Really? I love the atmosphere. It was so intense.
That's a good point, I guess. Even a professional boxer goes to that gym, apparently.
Really? It seems I chose a really good gym to go to then. But I still don't understand how you use all that equipment. So teach me if we meet again, will you?
Got it. But it'd be much easier if you asked a trainer to teach you, not me.
I guess that's true, but it's much easier to talk to an acquaintance. By the way, how's Emily?
Emily? The usual, I guess.
I see. You see, there's something I wanted to talk to you about work, Jacob. Don't tell Emily about this, okay? Emily's attitude at work is pretty bad recently.
What?
Oh, it's not like she's doing it on purpose, I think, but she's deaf and all, right? The other employees know this already, but she's kind of just ignores the other people at work.
Is this true? Emily is such a kind and sensitive person, you know.
I know she is, but not everyone agrees. There's some people who think she's just being cold for just ignoring them. I'm doing my best to support her, but...
Thanks for that.
It's nothing, as long as Emily doesn't notice it.
But Emily should really know about what the other employees think of her.
Hold on, this is a workplace problem, so I'll try to do something about it first. If I can't take care of it, then I'll ask you to cooperate, okay?
Got it.
You shouldn't worry too much either. You can always talk to me if there's something on your mind, all right?
Yes, thanks for that. But the gesture is enough.
Come on, you're pretty busy, right? I'm not just Emily's colleague, but I'm her friend as well, all right? It's all right if you depend on me too, you know.
Got it. Well, I'm almost home, so...
Okay, see you later then, Jacob.
There's something I want to talk to you about, Kimberly. Do you have time?
What is it?
I heard from Jacob that you two have exchanged contact information, but Well, how do I put this? You and Jacob have been texting each other frequently, haven't you?
Frequently? Well, I guess, maybe. We go to the same gym, so there are lots of things I want to ask him. I've never actually worked out before, so...
That's fine, but what about you inviting Jacob to go out somewhere?
What? I can't? It's not like a date or anything. I just thought that we could go and buy some training wear together. Aren't you exaggerating a bit?
Really? I just thought that one usually doesn't invite a married man to go shopping like that, especially if you know he's my husband.
What? You're so mean. I'm doing this precisely because you're my friend. Don't you trust me?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I won't be able to trust you anymore if you keep texting my husband and inviting him to go shopping like that.
Huh? I'm the only one who's wrong here? What about your husband Jacob, who always replies to my texts?
I don't really want to tell you this, but Jacob says that he's having a hard time with you as well. He says that he can't just ignore you because you're my friend. He also said that he keeps saying that he won't meet if it's just the two of you, but you keep ignoring what he says.
Oh, so that's what he's telling you. But I don't think that's what he actually thinks, you know? He looks like he's having so much fun talking to me at the gym. Maybe it's because communicating with you is so difficult.
I'm pretty sure that Jacob and I understand each other much more than you and I do. Besides, I kind of feel that your attitude towards me is pretty cold recently. Not just when it's about Jacob too. You ignore me sometimes at work, don't you? Did I do something to offend you?
What? Don't just ignore people all the time as well because you can't hear. You're saying that you can't ignore me, but I can't ignore you.
But that's because I'm deaf? I don't mean to ignore you.
It's the same with me. It's not like I mean to ignore you. Anyways, I think it's a bit unfair of you to call me out on Jacob's conversations. I got you permission today, remember?
My permission?
Did you understand what I said yesterday?
Huh? Did you say something to me yesterday?
What? You didn't hear me? Sorry, I said it out loud, so you might have not heard. I said that I would be having your husband. Then you nodded, remember?
What? I thought you asked me to check the designs.
Yeah, that's what I told you. It seems like you didn't hear me, but you did nod. I'm not the one who's wrong, right?
But what happened to you, Kimberly? You were so nice at first.
What? I was making fun of you from the start, remember? But you couldn't hear any of it, which was pretty hilarious.
Really?
I heard you were finally able to find a job after being rejected by so many places for being deaf. I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's so sad. But when I found out you had a handsome husband with a high-paying job, I was pretty pissed. Here I am working my ass off while you can take it easy thanks to that disability notebook of yours. Makes no sense, right?
It's not like I wanted to be born deaf, you know?
You say that, sure, but you are glad we were, aren't you? Since at the end of the day, we were able to find a good living thanks to it. Who knows if that'll last though, right? It seems Jacob prefers a healthy woman like me over a disabled person like you know? Maybe he's telling you that he's just trying his best not to cheat on you with me, but judging by his replies, that's not what's actually on his mind.
You called yourself a useless wretch when we first met, right?
Huh? What's the matter with you suddenly?
This is Jacob. I couldn't stand by watching anymore, so I had Emily give me her phone.
What? Is this really you, Jacob?
Yes, I'm afraid it is. You've got some nerve treating my wife like that.
What? But I only told her the truth. You'd prefer if your wife was someone who could actually hear like me, right? Not a deaf person like Emily.
You must have things completely wrong. No, I wouldn't prefer to have you as my wife over Emily. And it has nothing to do with being able to hear or not. For me, it's either Emily or nobody. And as she already told you, I was actually a bit puzzled as how to reply to you. You keep asking me the same thing over and over. At one point, I was even worried you had some sort of memory disorder. And the only thing you would talk about was how bad Emily's attitude was at work. To be honest, I didn't want to hear a word of it. But it's not like I believed anything you said, I didn't. Please don't talk to me or my wife ever again, will you? You're nothing but a nuisance, to be honest. Don't talk to Emily about anything other than work.
What? Why? You look so happy talking to me.
That's because I thought you were Emily's friend and colleague at work. I was just smiling to be polite. I was never interested in you, even for a moment.
Oh, I see. You're the type of person who can only love flawed people like her, aren't you? I've heard some people like you are like that. Oh, it's kind of sad, really.
Can you not insult us any further, please? Just hearing or seeing the things you say makes my head hurt. Oh, and I really didn't want to say this, but the only reason you came to that gym was because I was there, right? I don't know if you heard from Emily the places I usually visit or not, but you always seem to just accidentally bump into me. It was pretty creepy, to be honest. Just the other day I was headed to the cafe I always go to, but then I saw you looking through the glass trying to see if I was there, so I managed to escape.
What? Get over yourself, will you?
That's what I thought you would say, which is why I didn't say anything until now. And I'm sorry, but you're nothing compared to Emily. You have a twisted personality, enjoying hurting others, and can only act for yourself. You say that Emily's disabled, and yeah, sure, she's deaf, but you've got something wrong with you on the inside, which is, in my opinion, way more serious.
What? I'm not the one who's disabled. And here I was willing to marry you. You really are an idiot. Go ahead and live with that burden of yours your whole life.
Marry me? When did I say I was interested? If you say that Emily's a burden, then what, may I ask, are you? Garbage or something?
Why, you? Do you understand how Emily's going to be treated at the workplace now that you've made me mad? I'm a full-time employee while your wife's just a part-time. You know has more authority, right?
On the occasion that the other employees happen to side with you, Emily will quit working there. There's no point working in such a rotten company. Besides, I always did tell her that she should find a job where she can work from home. You're her colleague, right? Then you must know how fast Emily is when it comes to work. Actually, go ahead. Show the company our conversations.
What?
But it's obvious, right? We've got to do something to defend ourselves when there's someone like you around. I don't want Emily to work anywhere near you, if possible as well.
Just hold on a minute. You're going to report this to the company? Aren't you kind of over-exaggerating?
What? Aren't you the one who suggested telling everyone about what happened? Didn't you say about how the others at the company would treat Emily once they found out? That was a threat, right?
No, that's not what I meant, you see. Just don't report it to the company, will you?
What? Why not? Just what exactly did you mean when you said that, then? Anyways, you stalking me and insulting my wife is enough reason. I won't forgive this. I'm even considering fining you for defamation.
No, don't, please.
I can't decide on my own, so I'll have to talk about it with Emily first, though. I recommend going over your past actions. Oops, sorry, maybe you're too stupid to do so. Sorry for being so impolite. I'm not really good with all that politically correct stuff, you know. Don't get mad, alright? I didn't mean to insult you. Emily, you alright? What's Kimberly like?
Actually, it seems she's not here today. Yesterday must have been pretty shocking for her, huh?
What? You're the one who were insulted by her, not the other way around. What's her deal?
I guess. I was kind of shocked and mad at the same time, but I was worried that what Kimberly said about me not being liked by my colleagues was true, so I talked with my boss today and...
It was a lie, right?
Yeah, it seems so. My boss talks a lot with his employees, but apparently he's never heard anything about it. People were actually praising me, it seems.
That's what I expected. And did you talk to him about what happened with Kimberly?
Yep, I was a bit hesitant at first, though. But my boss seemed to notice that something was wrong and told me to tell him if something happened. So I told him about yesterday and how Kimberly was stalking you. He said he'll talk to Kimberly about it too, before he does something about it.
I see. I'm glad he listened to what you had to say.
Yep, although he didn't tell me personally that he couldn't forgive the text Kimberly sent me though. Those were pretty mean, huh?
Truly. I definitely don't want to forgive her. You're being too nice on her, Emily.
Yeah, but for some reason I can't feel completely mad towards her. I mean, it's to be expected that there are going to be some people who think of me as Kimberly does. I know, I cause you a lot of trouble because I can't hear too.
Not once did I consider being with you a burden, Emily. I can't say the same for Kimberly, on the other hand, though. What she did was just wrong. You're not the one who did the wrong thing, Emily. Don't get that mixed up.
Thanks. I just sometimes think that something like this wouldn't have happened if only I were normal. Sorry, I guess I'm in a self-deprecating mood.
So you're saying that you're not normal?
Oh, well, yeah.
You look pretty normal to me, you know. Not once did I think you were strange. Not being able to hear is just one part of your identity, I think. Like how I can hear, but I'm terrible at running, right? I always lose you in races.
I guess.
Everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. Of course, I do understand what you want to say. You're talking about how people in general can hear, but you can't, right?
Yep.
But there's nothing you can do about it, right? It's the same with any other disability from birth or from an accident. I know it must be hard having to deal with that reality, but that's not what's important with people, right? What's important is what's on the inside. That's why I was attracted to you in the first place, Emily. I mean, you are pretty hot too, I guess.
Which one is it?
Everything, really. I love everything about you, Emily. I'm pretty sure that even if we're reborn, that I'll still manage to find you and fall in love with you. That's how much I love you.
I get it already. I'm at work, so stop making me blush.
Sorry, but it's true, you know.
Yep.
Anyways, make me curry for dinner, okay? It's my favorite.
Got it. Thanks again, Jacob. I'm so happy to be with you. Kimberly began coming to work again the day after that. It was fine until there, but apparently she thought I had told no one about the incident and started spreading rumors about me. Our boss caught her doing it and she was given a strict caution for what she did. Of course, our boss told everyone that had heard her rumors what had actually happened, but this caused everyone in the workplace to find out what Kimberly did to me. And in the end, no one would talk to her anymore. I heard this later on, but apparently she was the type to not do her work and didn't even have much trust to begin with. She couldn't put up with the new environment and quit after 1 week to return to her parents' house. I was relieved she left, but later on, it was found that there had been a robbery at the workplace. The culprit was Kimberly, of course. Apparently, she stole a bunch of laptops and hard drives before she left. The company is currently in the process of suing her for the theft. The company doesn't want to be too hard on her and is trying to settle things with her privately, but apparently, she now also hates the company, which chose me over her and is refusing payment. I heard that the police will have to get involved if she continues to refuse. Some people refuse to go down without a fight, but Kimberly just seems to keep digging holes for herself to fall into. I've been scolded unfairly for not being able to hear many times in my life, but Kimberly is by far the worst. But kind people like Jacob and my colleagues are much more common. So I'll live life from now grateful to have met such people.
Do you have work today, Jack?
Work starts from noon today. Aren't you supposed to be at school?
I caught a cold.
Oh, get some rest, okay?
Yep. But today's your birthday, so I wanted to greet you.
Huh? No, I guess today is my birthday. I completely forgot. Thanks.
Don't forget your own birthday. That's sad. You're 20 now, right? Now?
18 is the age of majority now, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to grow up already, too.
But I, on the other hand, want to return to elementary school.
Why? Being an adult is so much better. You get to do whatever you want.
Being an adult's not that easy.
What? Did Mom greet you already?
No, not yet.
Oh, really?
You know how she is. She must have forgotten.
Do you and Mom not get along? Do you guys still argue?
We don't argue.
But didn't you leave home because of a fight you had with Mom?
I didn't leave home in that sense.
But you two were shouting. I heard it.
I guess we did fight. But I left so I could have my independence. Everyone leaves the house they grew up in eventually.
Really? Everyone?
Maybe not everyone, but I wanted to leave and live on my own as soon as possible. I want to be independent.
So you're saying you wanted to be able to live on your own?
Yep, which is why I found a job as soon as I graduated high school. No one can just depend on their parents forever. I was just a bit early. But it does seem that Mom didn't like me leaving the house.
I want to become independent too.
That's impossible if you're still a child. Graduate high school first, at least.
So many years from now. I want to get a job and live my own as well.
What are you saying? Finding a job is difficult if you don't graduate high school. So you should really go for the sake of your future. Right? You should go to university too if possible.
But you didn't go to university, right?
It's fine because you don't need a degree at the job I have now. Besides, I doubt Mom would have paid the tuition fee. But she'll probably pay if it's for you.
You and Mom really don't get along, huh?
Anyways, you're still a long way from independence if you're in elementary school. So no need to worry about it for now and just study.
Well, come home once in a while, Jack. It's fine with you as long as Mom isn't home, right?
I'm pretty busy as well. I don't really have the time to come and visit.
You're planning on becoming a chef, right? Is the training hard?
It is, but it's also quite fun. The owners are really kind, and while my tutors are strict, they're not bad people.
You always were pretty good at cooking. I love the food you cooked. I wish I could eat the omelet you used to make again.
I can make even better omelets now. Why don't you come over to my house during summer vacation? I'll make you an omelet or any other thing you want.
Really? That's a promise, right?
Got it. For now, just go and take a nap. And when you feel better, go and study, alright? Then you can come over to my house during the summer.
Got it. I'll do my best.
It seems that you've been talking to Thompson frequently, Jack.
Yeah, it's not really frequent. Just once in a while.
So it's true? Would you please not teach him anything strange?
What do you mean by that?
I don't want him to become like you. So don't text him too much, alright?
Not like me. Did I do something?
I mean, I don't want him to become good for nothing like you and leave the house. I wonder why you turned out like that. Thompson is such a nice child in comparison.
Just how am I good for nothing? I'll work hard and pay my taxes. I make a living out of my own money now. I haven't been any trouble to anyone, and there's no reason for anyone to have any issues with me.
But this job of yours is ridiculous. I don't care if you're a chef or something, but I didn't raise you to do such a worthless job.
It isn't worthless.
I wanted you to get a job that made more money. There's so much jobs you could have taken. You could have become a doctor, or a lawyer, or have gone to the technology sector. But you decided to become a chef. All the time I spent on you is a waste.
I'm just doing what I want to do. You have no right to interfere.
What are you saying? Do you know how much I sacrificed raising you? And then you just leave the house suddenly? Of course I have complaints.
I would have suffocated if I'd stayed there any longer. I probably would have even lost my mind. I don't want to live as your puppet.
I'm the one who raised you. But here you are. Why can't you just listen to what I say?
I had no freedom while I was living there with you. I couldn't even make any friends, you know? Whenever I would go out with friends, you would find some sort of way to bother me. There's something seriously wrong with a parent who destroys their child's friendships.
Everything I did was for your own sake. But as soon as you graduated high school, you left. Do you care nothing about your mother?
What do you mean it's for my own sake? Everything you did for yourself. Don't push your ideals on me, it's a bother.
What? What did you say?
I'm grateful you raised me, but I can't accept being controlled like some sort of puppet. My life is my own life.
You really do care nothing about your mother. I'm worried Thompson will become like you.
He's a smart kid, so he should be fine. But can you try not to control him in every way like you did with me? You just end up suffocating if you do.
I'm not as strict as I used to be, you know. I learned from my mistakes with you. I'm planning on letting him develop his abilities on his own.
I guess so. I haven't heard anything from Thompson.
Heard what?
He hasn't talked about you being too strict or anything. When I was still living there, I was barely able to put up with it. I even thought about leaving before high school many times.
Thompson's not like you. He's not just gonna leave like you did. That child has his head straight.
Unlike me, huh?
He's going to go to university and get an actual job, unlike you.
I see. I'm sorry I wasn't able to live up to your expectations.
There's no need for you to come home ever again. I'm not going to help, even if you're in trouble. I don't have the money to lend, you see?
I don't need your help. The salary I have now is pretty decent and I'm working hard.
Aren't you just an apprentice over there? Stop boasting, will you?
The owner's a pretty good person. He's not the type to give me a low wage just because I'm an apprentice. He gives me a place to live and food to eat, so I'm actually able to save up money. Is that so? Well, he did hire a kid who just graduated from high school, so he must be a nice person.
Well, just don't rely on me from now on, alright?
Wasn't planning on it.
Are you still at work, Jack?
Today's a day off. What's wrong?
Is it alright if I come over and stay at your house? You told me I could come before, right? It's not summer vacation yet, but is it okay?
What, today? We got school tomorrow, right? Why not come over on a weekend instead? It'll be hard going to school from my house, right?
It's fine. I haven't been going to school anyways, which is why I want to go today.
Huh? What do you mean you haven't been going to school? Have you been taking absences?
Yep, every day for a while now.
What do you mean for a while? Since when have you not been going to school?
It's probably been 4 months since the last time I went.
You said you skipped school because you had a cold the last time, right? So you didn't have a cold and we're just not going?
Yep. I lied that time. Sorry.
So you're really not going to school anymore? Did something happen at school? Did you have trouble with your friends or something?
No reason really.
Then why didn't you go to school? Something happened, right?
I actually want to go to school, you know. But I can't.
Why?
Mom won't let me.
Mom? She's telling you not to go to school?
Yep. Which is why I'm at home always.
Why wouldn't she let you go to school? You want to go, right?
She says that if I go, I'll become stupid, and that I'll be negatively influencing my classmates.
What's she on about? School is a place to study, right? Why would that make you dumb?
Mom always says the same thing. Don't become like your brother, which is why she's raising me in a different way.
So that's why she's not letting you go to school. Thompson, how does she treat you? She might be even more strict with you than she was with me.
She punishes me if I rebel even a little, and she only gives me raw vegetables to eat.
Why only raw vegetables?
She says that eating artificial additives will make me stupid.
What? She's the one who's stupid? There's no way a child will be able to grow properly with only raw vegetables.
My head always hurts recently. I'm always exhausted as well. I want to eat some of your omelets again.
No wonder you do. You're extremely low on protein and carbohydrates. You must be low on nutrition. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
I thought if I told you, you and Mom would start fighting again. Mom says to never meet with you again. I didn't want that to happen, so I kept quiet. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. It's not your fault.
I'm scared of Mom. I don't want to be with her anymore. But Mom says that I should never leave her.
She must not want to let go of you. She probably won't let you go to school so you won't get the idea of leaving her. You'll probably notice the abnormality of the situation you're in when she sees what it's like for everyone else.
So, we really are a strange family.
This isn't something a parent usually does. I noticed it eventually, which is why I left. I thought that it would be fine since she was nice to you, but it seems I should have brought you with me too.
I want to be with you, Jack. Not Mom.
I'm sorry. I didn't have the emotional leeway at the time. I was only thinking about protecting myself. I had to do all I could to get away.
What should I do, Jack? I don't want to stay in this house anymore, too.
I understand. Come over to my house. Mom's not there right now, right?
Yeah. She said she'll be late today.
Then now's the chance. I'll come and pick you up.
Do you know where Thompson is? He's not home. Is he over at your house?
You got home a lot earlier than I thought you would. I'm so glad you made it in time.
Did you sneak him out?
Yep, I rescued him. What was it about you not being strict to Thompson? You're harder on him than you were on me.
What are you talking about? Who cares? Just give me Thompson back. He'll be negatively influenced if he's around you.
You're the one who's negatively influencing him.
You're saying I did something?
You wouldn't let him go to school, right? And you only gave him raw vegetables to eat, right? Thompson's so thin now, he's malnourished.
That's my way of educating him. Keep out of this, will you?
You know it's a crime to do such a thing to children. I called the cops earlier.
The cops?
They brought someone from the childcare department, and they had Thompson brought to the hospital. He collapsed from anemia. It's probably because he suddenly felt relieved.
Why'd you have to tell the police? I haven't done anything to get caught.
The people at the hospital are studying Thompson's body. They're checking for bruises specifically.
You think I hit him or something? Quit fooling around.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did such a thing. Anyone would doubt it, seeing how malnourished he was by you. You won't be able to obtain custody of Thompson anymore. I'll raise him from now.
What are you saying? There's no way you'd be able to raise him. You're just a child.
I'm already an adult who has a job.
But you're still an apprentice, right? What exactly will you be able to do?
My salary's pretty much the same as yours. I heard that you only work part-time now.
You've never raised a child, have you? A child needs a mother.
It's true I don't have any experience raising a child, but I'm confident I'll do a better job of it than you. I won't make him malnourished for one. Better off having no mother than having a mother like you.
Stop saying such ridiculous things. It's not easy raising a child, you know. You need a lot of money. You'll probably run out immediately.
I basically don't have to pay for food and rent. I asked the owner and it seems they'll let Thompson live with me. They even said they'll help as much as they can.
There's no way something that good can be true.
The owner and his wife are pretty kind people. They welcome kids like me who have no home. They said that they'll help me until I can handle things on my own.
There must have been some sort of catch to that. No one's that nice to others.
There are wretches like you in the world, but there are also kind people like the owner and his wife. This is what I learned after seeing society from my own eyes.
Stop acting all high and mighty. Don't steal the only hope I have left. You piece of shit. I shouldn't have had you.
Me in the past would have probably been hurt by those words and started crying. I had no self-esteem after being rejected by you over and over. I'm no longer like that. I was lucky enough to have met good people and have regained my self-esteem. Which is why I won't cry, whatever you say to me now. I'm not giving you Thompson no matter what you say.
It's your fault for being such a good-for-nothing. If only you had grown up well, I wouldn't have gone into this mess.
So you're saying it's my fault that you couldn't raise Thompson well? You've been failing at this child-raising thing from the start. So why not just give up and quit? You're not good at it.
Why do I have to hear such things from you?
I'm telling you right now because you won't be able to notice for yourself. You're not fit to be a mother. Both me and Thompson aren't your puppets. Why not stop trying to push everything on your kids and become independent, huh? After that, I was given custody of Thompson. And the two of us have been living together ever since the incident with subsidiaries from the government. I found out later on that Mom became so poor that she couldn't even pay her taxes. It seems that I had more money than her from the start. She's now receiving aid from the government and is now in a mental hospital. I have no idea what happened to her after that. Both me and Thompson have resolved to live from now on thinking we no longer have a mother. The owner and his wife welcomed Thompson warmly and he's regained his former brightness. I plan on thanking them for all they did for us someday. The two have no children, so I'm even prepared to take care of them once they're old. Thompson's glad to be able to go to school again. He's catching up on his studies. He keeps saying how when he becomes an adult, he'll get rich so that I can take it easy. I look forward to the adult he'll become. Hey Tim, please enough already.
What are you on about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Why don't you tell the entire class that I'm not planning on going to college? Almost everyone at our school is gonna go on to college, so I asked you to keep it quiet. But today, everyone in class was talking about it.
It's not that you don't plan on going to college, it's that you can't go on to college, right? We all know that your family is too poor to be able to afford college tuition.
That's got nothing to do with any of you. Anyway, don't just go around telling people about my private matters.
Parents who are too poor to even send their kid to college shouldn't have kids in the first place. Talk about having no foresight. It's families like yours who can't make enough money on their own and then go crying to the government for support. And then it's up to families like mine who pay all these insane taxes to end up footing your bill. We always end up having to clean up your messes and get you out of situations you got yourselves into.
You're going too far with that. It's not like my family was always poor. My dad died 8 years ago. Then my brother got really sick around 5 years ago. His hospital bills ended up costing us an arm and a leg. A lot of things happened, okay? Sure, now my family isn't as well off as most others, especially our classmates. But that doesn't mean you can just go around talking like that.
This isn't the Misfortune Olympics. You don't need to start talking about all that. Poor people sure like to do that, don't they? Are you hoping people who hear that will feel some sympathy for you? The world isn't as kind as you think.
That's not what I'm trying to do. But you're making fun of my parents, saying that they have no foresight or don't know how to plan ahead. Of course I can't just let that rest.
Yeah, whatever. Say what you like. It doesn't matter what you say or what excuses you try to make. Everyone knows how poor your family is. Oh, and I also told everyone that your family is sending you off to work at one of your relatives' companies too. You know, because why not?
They're not sending me off anywhere. I just got a normal job there like anywhere else. Stop spreading lies and rumors. You keep doing that even about small things like my clothes. I heard you told people that I never washed my uniform and just wear it as if every day.
That's because your uniform is dirty and gross. Ugh, I guess poor people don't even wash their clothes. Am I wrong?
Of course I wash them. My clothes are just a little old because I got them from an older student who didn't need them anymore.
Oh, so you wear other people's hand-me-downs? That's even worse. Ugh, I'd literally rather die than have to wear something like that. Imagine having to wear clothes stained with other people's sweat. That's gross.
Then you sent a photo of me covered in grass in the schoolyard to the class group chat. Not only that, you told everyone that I was taking the grass home to eat it for dinner. Since then, people keep leaving grass and weeds on my desk at school.
That's just everyone showing their kindness. Aren't you lucky? Now you won't have to worry about having enough to eat for dinner.
Stop messing around. Seriously, just enough already. I haven't done anything to you. Just leave me alone. If you keep it up, I'll have to tell the teachers.
I guess this is where we part ways, huh? It's kind of sad, really.
I couldn't be happier.
Oh, come on. What, are you angry just because I teased you a little? You really need to learn to take a joke.
Because of you, I had a terrible time in high school. How many times did you make fun of me for being poor?
That happens all the time. A lot of people joke about that. It's nothing personal. It's true anyway. It's not like I made it up.
Anyway, I don't want anything more to do with you.
In that case, you can relax. It's not like there will be any reason for us to meet again anyway. You're off to work at some small-time company that could fail at any second. And I'm going to a famous private university. And after I graduate, it's a well-established company and a straight road to becoming a big shot for me. Good luck with your miserable life.
You have no idea how my life is gonna turn out. I'm gonna work hard and have a better, happier life than you.
You're really an idiot, aren't you? What matters is your education and connections, not hard work. And the two of us are from completely different worlds. There's no chance our paths will cross again from here on. We'll never have to see each other again.
I hope so. No, I'm praying for it.
Hey, it's been a while since we saw each other. What, has it been since we graduated high school? You've really surprised me. You took one look at my face and seemed lost for words.
I was. I never expected to meet you there. Sorry if I was rude before. I was in a hurry, so I couldn't stay and talk.
Did you end up getting a late entrance into college or anything after we last met?
No, I didn't.
So you're really just out here with a high school diploma. Man, poor people really are stupid. There are other ways of getting into college, right? Like deferred pathways or even community college programs. You should have thought about taking one of those options to help you escape from the lower classes.
I mean, I guess I could have done that.
And what were you wearing earlier anyway? Worn out work clothes that look like they were covered in paint? You look even more ragged than you used to. Seeing you like that reminded me of the gross uniform you used to wear in high school. You were always wearing such dirty clothes.
There's a reason I was wearing those clothes, but what about you? Did you become a big shot yet like you said you would?
Of course I did. Or close enough. Tomorrow's my first day of my new job at a great company. And what do? Are you homeless or something? If that's the case, you want me to lend you some money?
Starting a new job? You're coming to my company.
Wait, what?
I've been so busy I completely forgot. I remember HR telling me that you were hired. I took a look at your CV.
Wait, what? What are you on about? Did you lose your mind in the years since we last met? If you're the CEO, why are you wearing those clothes?
That's because I was on my way back from helping do some painting at a nearby orphanage.
Painting? Why would you be doing that?
My company has a lot of different initiatives in the company to help kids from poor families and those with no place to go. Painting and helping with artwork is one of them. The point is to give the kids an opportunity to experience art and help them cultivate their imaginations. Today we had an event where a lot of investors volunteered to help out, so of course I also joined in. All of us helped the kids paint a massive picture of a dinosaur. It was pretty fun. My clothes did get completely covered in paint though.
So what, your company is trying to give back to society? What's the point of that?
Look, Tim, the company that you're gonna start working at tomorrow is managed by me.
There's just no way that's true. After high school, you were just going off to work at some small-time business, and now you're trying to tell me that you're a CEO?
I worked hard at that so-called small-time business, and now it has grown to be the company that you start at tomorrow.
Get real. I know that's not true. First of all, the name of the company is completely different from the one you went to work at.
After my uncle retired and appointed me the CEO, I changed the name of the company. My uncle didn't have any kids of his own, so he decided to pass the company on to me. At that time, the performance of the company was improving, so I decided to also expand the scope of what we do and completely rehaul the name and appearance of the office too. So along with that, I changed the name to give the company a new start, so to speak. But if you applied for this job, you should have seen the website. The CEO's name is clearly written there. You didn't realize? I thought you saw my name, so I decided to apply here.
Of course I saw the website, but your last name isn't the same as it was in high school.
Oh, that's right. My mom got remarried, so my last name changed because of that. But even so, if you went through the site, my photo should have come up at some point. I guess you didn't really look into the company too much. Usually, an applicant tries to find out as much as they can about the job they're applying for. But whatever. HR said that they will hire you, so that's that.
You weren't the one who processed my application then?
The company has gotten too big for me to look over every applicant personally. I mostly leave that up to HR now. Of course, once they've chosen a candidate, I still look into them myself. By the way, I heard a lot about you from HR. They said that you studied abroad in France for 2 years during college? And so now you can speak French too. That's amazing. They also said that you entered graduate school. And after completing your master's in business, went on to be a project manager at a pretty big company. Also, that at your previous company, you were so popular with all the female employees that you could barely get along with all the men. You told me all about it.
That was all stuff that I talked about in my interview. So, are you really the CEO there?
That's what I've been saying this whole time. I'm not gonna make up some pointless lie like that. And I'm always happy when someone with a good record joins a company. But there's one thing that I'm a little worried about. Extending a helping hand to help people in need is my motto. And the company also follows that ideal. I'm wondering if someone like you who looks down on the poor and helpless will really be an asset to this company or not. In any case, from tomorrow you have a 3-month trial period. So I'll be keeping an eye on your performance. Then I'll judge what happens from there. Hey, what's up? Are you still there?
Oh yes, I'm still here, sir.
What's up with the formality all of a sudden? Anyway, as I said before, that's what we'll do starting tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow then. Hey Tim, I need to talk to you about something. I've asked some of the other employees about how you're doing at the moment, and what they say isn't so good. Does anything come to mind?
I'm not really sure.
That's a pretty vague answer. This is what I've heard from them. You make a lot of obvious mistakes when preparing documents. You fail to be polite to clients and end up angering them in meetings. Then they also said that you've been copying data onto a personal USB. This is pretty different from what your CV said about you, and what you said in the interview.
That's just all a coincidence. I mean, I only just started, so I'm bound to make some mistakes, right?
You've also been going around boasting that you and I were classmates back in high school. And I went out of my way to hire you as soon as I could. So, you did apply here knowing that I was the CEO, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Apart from that, people said that you can't actually speak French, and a bunch of other things that seemed off. So I had to look into your past a little more closely.
What? What do you mean by that?
Well, I happen to know the CEO of the company you used to work at. So I asked him about how you were at work and for him to get the opinion on your former coworkers. And that's where it all came to light. They said you were lying constantly and would always blame your own mistakes on other people. Everyone hated you for it. I also heard that you had a pretty big gambling debt, to the point where even the company got contacted about it. Everything I heard, there was nothing good.
That's all completely made up. Everyone at the last place I worked at were just jealous of my genius and wanted me to fail.
But even what you said in the interview at my company is exactly the same as what you told them at the previous place. That you were a graduate and studied abroad for 2 years. The timeline on that doesn't make any sense. The truth is that not only did you not get your master's, but you also dropped out of college without getting your degree at all. The story about studying abroad was also completely made up. Then, because of your habit of lying, you messed up a lot of relationships with that company's clients. A bunch of them canceled contracts and the company was in the red for a huge amount because of you. And the reason you ended up getting let go is because of your gambling problem. Did you know that lying about your education and work history counts as a crime? It's only a misdemeanor, but a crime nonetheless. Did you think that a company that is lied to like that would just let it slide? I can tell you now that my company isn't gonna do that.
Oh, wait, please. That's not what happened. This is all just a misunderstanding. You know, just a mix-up in communication.
Lying isn't unusual for you. I know you from high school. You used to lie about things all the time back then, too. Some of your managers have also been telling you to fix up your appearance and get a new bag and shoes. But you seem to not listen to them at all. You used to always say how rich your family is. Was that a lie too? Looking at how you present yourself now, I can't really believe that was ever the case.
That's not a lie! That at least isn't a lie.
Even now, you keep up the lies, huh? I already know. I spoke to your mother on the phone.
What? Why would you call my mom?
You needed to give over an emergency contact detail when you signed a contract with us, right? Since you put down your parents' number, I figured I'd give them a call. Your mother picked up and we spoke for a while. You were always bragging about how rich your family was back at school. But it turns out you are a completely normal middle-class family. Your mom said no one in your family has ever made enough to be called a high-income earner or upper class or anything of the like. And now it's up to your parents to pay off your gambling debt. They said they're really struggling.
Damn, my mom. Why did you have to go tell you so many unnecessary things?
Anyway, that's not really important. You've only been with us for a few days, but have already had a harmful effect on the company and the other employees too. On top of that, you lied about your education and work history. So with that in mind, and seeing that you're still on the trial period, I've decided to terminate your contract at the end of the 3 months. We won't be giving you a full-time position.
You can't do that! I signed a contract!
That was a contract that you signed, one for a 3-month trial period. Did you not read the contract?
Give me another chance. Come on, please. I mean, we're friends from school.
In high school, you constantly made fun of me. Despite that, in good faith, I hired you and decided to just see how it went. Isn't that a better chance than you could really ask for? There isn't a second.
Please, don't fire me. I'm still up to my ears in debt. If I don't have a job, I can't pay it back. The debt collectors will probably start coming by the house again, too.
I'm not happy it has to end like this, but your habit of lying will most likely cause damage to my company's reputation with clients. That's what happened at the last place you worked at, after all. Sometimes, in order to minimize risk, it's necessary to make harsh decisions. Sorry, but that's what it means to be a manager.
It's not like I was a liar from the very beginning. I used to just joke about lots of things. I never meant them seriously. But in middle school, I made a joke about my family being really rich and everyone made a big fuss. That made me feel kind of good. And before I knew it, lying was a habit and I did it more and more. I did it to try and get better in this world.
Both my family and yours. They weren't rich, but that's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But to lie and deceive people, that's wrong. And to purposefully go out of your way to hurt people's feelings is even worse.
Look, I'm sorry for what I did and said in school. I recognize that you've become successful. You've become someone really amazing. Remember what you said to me? That you would work hard and have a better life than me? You did it! You showed me!
There's no use now for empty flattery. It's too late for that.
What'd you say? Okay, so you worked hard and became a CEO. So what? You think you can look down on me now? Don't get so cocky.
Now you're just gonna snap back, huh? I guess lying isn't your only bad trait.
Why did this happen? How could this happen? You were poorer than me. How did you end up becoming more successful?
That's because I refused to let my environment and circumstances affect me and gave it my all without any regrets. And while I was working hard and doing all I could, you just lazed around. That's where the difference is. You said that our paths would never cross again, and that we'd never see each other's faces again. This time, I sincerely hope that will be the case. When the trial period ended, Tim packed his things and left the office moping. But he didn't stop lying until the very end of his time at my company. He even kept telling some of the other employees that I was jealous of his abilities and was doing everything I could to make him look bad in front of others. Needless to say, there wasn't a single person who believed him. At this point, Tim's lying seems almost pathological. I don't think it's something that can be fixed that easily. As I expected, Tim kept falsifying his education and work experience and continued to look for a job. But as it happens, word spreads fast and Tim became somewhat infamous in the industry. In the end, there wasn't a single company that was willing to hire him. The debt collectors appeared for him again, and to get away from the debt, he seems to have run far away and disappeared. After that, I don't have the slightest idea about what happened to him. As for my company, it has kept growing and growing. We have also kept up with initiatives to give back to society and help those in need. I was lucky enough to get this opportunity, thanks to my uncle. And I plan to use it to help as many disadvantaged children as I can.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Francine, I'm really sorry. I hate to go on a business trip so soon after the wedding. The first day finally ended. Man, that was a long one.
Hey, honey, it's okay. I admire how hard you work. Work is work. It can't be helped, right? I'll be going to South Korea on business with work myself soon, so it's not like I can say anything.
Sorry to leave you all alone with my mom all of a sudden like this. It's not awkward, is it? Is she doing anything weird?
Why are you apologizing, LOL? Everything's fine, really. Your mom's really kind.
It is? Okay, I'm happy to hear it. What did you do today?
Well, I had to meet someone for work. Then your mom asked me to make a dog kennel. So I went and bought a load of wood planks and building materials at Home Center.
What, a dog kennel? Is my mom planning on getting a dog?
To be honest, I don't really know. I did ask her if she was gonna buy a dog, but she just told me it's a secret and got all evasive. Your mom can be surprisingly playful sometimes, LOL.
That's weird. Did my mom like dogs? I don't remember ever seeing her with one. But I do remember one time when I was a kid, I brought a little stray puppy home and she absolutely flipped out at me. She wouldn't let me keep it.
Maybe she's a little lonely now, what with your dad not being around and all.
I wonder, could it be that? I am pleased though, I've always wanted a dog.
I'm pleased too. It's nice to be able to help your mom out with things. DIY always was my forte. Just you wait, I'm gonna make the best dog kennel there ever was.
I can't wait to see it. Good luck. I have one more thing to look forward to when I get back now.
Don't worry, if she gets the dog before you get home from your trip, I'll send you tons of photos.
Please do. I'm really curious to see what kind of dog she gets. I'm heading for lunch with some coworkers now, so catch you later.
Okay, honey. I'm gonna jump in the tub, then get ready for bed. Nighty-night.
Linus, are you working right now? Please, will you reply when you get this? And please, I really need you to come home ASAP.
Francine, I'm really sorry. I just saw your messages. I was in a 3-hour business meeting. What happened? Are you okay?
Linus, your mom locked me out of the house.
Huh? My mom did that? She locked you out of the house? But why?
I have no idea why, but I suddenly started feeling sleepy while I was having a coffee with her. I don't remember anything else until, when I came around, I was outside. She came by with a gang of the neighbors to laugh at me just now. She said she has to instill some discipline in me because I'm a useless wife.
Discipline? What does that even mean? Where are you right now?
I'm in a kennel on a leash.
What the fuck? Sorry, but I'm not sure I understand. You're in a what? Is my phone bugging out?
I don't understand either, Linus. I don't understand at all. If I talk on the phone, your mom might hear and come back out.
Do you mean you're on a leash? Like it's around your neck? Inside a dog kennel?
Yes. Well, to be specific, I'm just outside the kennel. Why is this happening? I'm so confused. If I had to guess based on how things went down, I'd say she most likely carried me out here and attached it while I was asleep. Luckily, I had my phone in my pocket so I could still contact you. But wait, that's not even the worst bit. She brought me out a bowl of dog food for supper after her and the neighbors got done laughing at me. This whole situation is so disgusting. I wouldn't mind so much if people couldn't see me, but this is just too much.
You wouldn't mind? No, this is unacceptable! You're in a kennel on a leash, Francine!
Does your mom think I'm a dog?
Why the hell would she think that? Just to make sure, when you say you're in a kennel on a leash, does that mean you're stuck and you can't escape?
Yeah, she locked the leash to the kennel with a padlock. But don't worry, I messaged one of my friends and they're gonna sneak into the yard real soon. The bit around my neck is made of leather, so she's bringing some scissors to cut it off with.
I see. Sorry, babe, I'm really panicking here. I'm coming home as quickly as I can.
I'm so sorry to mess up your business trip, Linus. Thank you.
I'm the one who should be saying sorry. I really mean it, Francine. This would never have happened if I didn't suggest you live with my mom while I was away. I'll do anything. Please forgive me.
I mean, I only have myself to blame. You made it very clear your mom subjected your past girlfriends to all kinds of crazy harassment. You told me that, and I ignored your warnings. If I just accepted what you told me, this would have never happened. So it's me who should be apologizing. I stubbornly agreed to live with her in spite of knowing her past. I felt super bad for her after losing your dad. I just thought it would be nice for her to have some company.
It's okay, babe. Just leave the rest to me now, okay? If my mom comes back outside before your friend gets there to rescue you, just play dumb.
Got it. I never would have imagined something like this would have happened in a million years. In a certain sense, it's a valuable experience.
All I can do is apologize. I'm so sorry for all this.
Hang on, I should take a selfie. I probably won't get another chance like this.
Huh? Well, I mean, I guess that's true.
Done it. I'll show you when you get back. Be careful. Fly safe.
Linus, this is bad. Francine disappeared. Linus, are you there? I can see you read my messages. Reply.
What?
Not what? Is that any way to talk to your mother? Francine's gone. When I woke up this morning, she was nowhere to be found.
Mom, what the hell did you do?
What did I do? I didn't do anything. If I had to guess what you were talking about, maybe I did play a little joke on her that could be interpreted as having been a tiny bit mean.
A tiny bit mean?
Hear me out. Have you noticed how that girl's always smiling to herself absent-mindedly? Or how she sits like a sloth watching TV when there's very clearly housework to be done? Well, that's just not good enough for the wife of any son of mine, which is why I decided to instill some discipline into her. You should have seen her. She was really quite the sight. Me, the neighbors were in stitches. My stomach still hurts. I wanted to show you too, Linus. It's a shame you were away on business. Oh, you heard, did you? Well, that's just great. Wait, what? How the devil was she able to get in touch with you?
She has a phone, you know. All she had to do was message me. More importantly, I need you to tell me why the hell you would do something like that. Do you know how upset she is? Seriously, Mom, stop screwing around. This is no joke.
Like I told you, that girl needs to learn some discipline.
Why do you constantly interfere in my life like this, Mom? All the way back to when I was a kid, to my very first girlfriend. Remember the time you gave her a box of bugs for her birthday? Do ya? Because I do. Then there was the time when my girlfriend from college came over and you did nothing but mock her relentlessly because she grew up without a dad. In spite of all that, Francine was still kind enough to give living with you a shot because she wanted to keep you company. She was being kind to you, and this is how you repay her? And you know what? She did that in spite of my warnings. I told her living with you was a bad idea, and she ignored me because she didn't want you to be lonely. You trample on the good of others without even a hint of shame or remorse. Why are you like this?
Linus! I see Francine's got you wrapped around her little finger. She's poisoned you and turned you against me, has she?
Poison? She's done nothing of the sort. In fact, she probably has more patience for you than I do. Or at least she did. The only one who's poisoned here is you!
I had no choice! That girl is so slovenly that someone just had to teach her some manners. It was for her own good. First of all, what the hell is this job she does? Stylist? Pfft, I've never heard something so ridiculous. Can you think of anything more useless? A job for degenerates and delinquents if I've ever heard one. A woman's place is in the house. What good is she as a wife if she doesn't devote herself entirely to you and the housework?
I already told you she's in the process of quitting at the salon so she can spend more time at home. Do you ever listen to me?
And that's not the only thing. There's a good, legitimate reason for me deciding to discipline her.
What's that? Do tell me, this should be good.
Believe me, Linus, I know something that's going to shock you. A sordid secret of the most outrageous kind.
Francine has a secret?
I really didn't want to have to tell you this, but your wife is cheating on you.
Like hell she is. Francine's the last person in the world who would do something like that.
It's the God's honest truth. I've spoken to all of the neighbors at length about this, and we're all in agreement. There's no doubt about it. She's two-timing you, son. How are we so sure, you ask? Well, sometimes when you're out at work, she leaves the house for long periods of time with all these bags. On top of that, there's this guy who pulls up down the street. She gets in, and they drive off together. Plain as day for all to see. Then later on, he drops her off again. All of the neighbors have seen them. Brenda, Mavis, Dorothy, they all know. Everyone knows what your wife's up to except you, Linus.
So what? What does any of this prove?
I was so perplexed about what might be in the bag she's taking with her that I snuck in a look while she went to the bathroom one time. Because my instincts are as sharp as they come, and I just knew there'd be some kind of proof in there. And lo and behold, when I did, they were full of PVC leather clothes. There were more belts than I could even count. In short, they were full of things that normal, right-minded people would have absolutely no use for and really probably be disgusted by. I was so shocked, I almost fainted to think I'd been living under the same roof as a woman with such tastes. She puts on those clothes and uses those awful tools on her lover while you're away at work. I'm sure of it.
I see.
I'm just trying to save you from her wicked clutches, Linus. Can't you see? Everything I do is for you, son. Always. Which is why I'm certain the reason she disappeared today while you were away on business is so she and her pervert lover could run away and be together for good.
Because this guy you're so convinced is her pervert lover is the idol you're obsessed with.
I'm sorry? Excuse me?
The guy you and all the other old women from the neighborhood have been completely obsessed with lately. The guy she goes out with is Jay Woo, the K-pop idol. You know, the one who makes cameos in all your favorite dramas. Francine used to be a stylist.
What? What? Francine was Jay Woo's stylist?
That's right. He's been touring the US for a while now, right? Well, he hired Francine when he first came over because of her extensive experience in the industry, and she managed him for years. Even despite her having mostly retired now to be a stay-at-home housewife, he still offers her work every now and then. And the pay is so good, she'd be stupid to say no.
Are you saying your wife is meeting up with the Jay Woo?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because it's her job.
Can I meet him too?
I knew that was coming. This is exactly why we didn't tell you. Because it's you, I knew that not only would you pester her to meet him, but you'd also go bragging about it to the neighbors and bugging Francine about meets, pictures, autographs. I knew we'd never hear the end of it. So I decided it was best we didn't tell you. The clothing and belts you found while you were snooping through my wife's things were costumes for the music video to his latest song, You're the Apple to My Pie.
Oh my god, what? His latest song? This can't be? You're lying! You're lying, you're lying, you're lying! Jay Woo's gonna wear that?
Which is why Francine is doing nothing wrong and has absolutely nothing to feel guilty about. This is her job, and I respect her for how hard she works. So I suggest you drop this absurd, hurtful misunderstanding and correct the neighbors about the lies you've told them while you're at it.
Fine, leave it to me. But still, you can't blame me for asking. If Francine and Jay Woo are so close, then wouldn't it be unreasonable to think she could pull some strings and arrange for me to get a ticket to his next concert, right?
I'm sure she could, if she wanted to. He goes out of his way to hire her despite the fact she's a full-time housewife now after all. It's pretty clear how much he trusts her.
I think I owe Francine an apology.
Yes, clearly you do. But now that I think about it, I doubt you'll ever get the chance. She has no intention of going back to your house after this.
Excuse me?
What do you mean, excuse me? Can you actually say you're surprised? Who in their right mind would want to go back to a house where all the neighbors saw them kenneled up like a dog and think they're cheating on their husband? Let's say, just for argument's sake, that she did want to go back. It still wouldn't be happening, because I won't allow it. You'll never see her again.
Come on, Linus! This all came about through some silly misunderstanding. Can't we just let bygones be bygones?
You think you get a get-out-of-jail-free card because you made a misunderstanding? You think you get to do whatever the hell you want because you made a misunderstanding? You have so little concept of right and wrong that you're actually dangerous. I'm ashamed to say I'm your son.
Come on, Linus, don't be so stubborn! I'm sorry for everything I did, really! I am! I'll do anything! Would you have me on my knees begging for forgiveness? Please, just bring Francine along and let's all live together happily again! I'll devote myself to mending fences with her. I'll make up for everything. A few months from now, we'll all have forgotten about this, and me and her will be best friends.
You think my wife would be best friends with someone who leashed her up in a kennel and fed her dog food? You're only saying this because you want to use her to get to Jay Woo. I can read you like a book. You're so transparent, it's actually creepy. Oh yeah, I'm selling the house too.
What on earth are you thinking?
I'm pretty sure I should be the one asking you that.
This is too sudden. It's not fair of you to spring this on me now.
I decided yesterday, so I guess you could say it is pretty sudden.
Please, wait! Think this through! I'll have nowhere to live if you sell the house. Would you have me out on the streets? Your own mother?
What are you talking about? Don't you have a new house?
Huh?
Don't worry, I'm not taking that. It's all yours. The kennel.
My mother-in-law immediately sent me a groveling apology message. If I'd have known it would come to this, I might have told her about the situation with Jay Woo from an earlier stage to avoid the hassle. But I know that if I did, the pestering for meets, autographs, pictures, and concert invites would have been endless. Just as we expected, after all this went down, she immediately went around the neighborhood bragging that her daughter-in-law was Jae-woo's stylist. However, all the old women from the neighborhood she'd been gossiping to apologized to me with their heads hung in shame, which made me think they possessed a little more decency than my mother-in-law. But I quickly realized I was wrong when they immediately started begging me for tickets to Jae-woo's concerts the moment they thought they were forgiven. I was deeply disappointed when I was forced to accept that they were all, my mother-in-law included, beyond saving. That said, I did make it clear that my mother-in-law had been lying to them all about me. I heard that she got treated like a pariah ever since, and now she's all alone with no one to badmouth others or gossip with. How tragic. After that, I hired a moving company to take all my belongings from the house. Linus was there to watch over things and make sure his mom didn't make any desperate last-ditch attempts at revenge. But far from it. Actually, all she did was curl up in the fetal position in the corner, crying her eyes out. Naturally, we told the moving company to see to it that all her belongings were left in front of the dog kennel in the yard. In the end, our attempt at living together ended in failure. But even so, I'm super happy we were able to give her the kennel as one final goodbye present. By the way, I still have the selfie I took of myself in the leash on my phone. The whole story was so ridiculous, it even makes me laugh now, years on. Now that it's all behind us, in a weird way, I'm actually pleased it happened. It's a great memory in all sorts of ways.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Naomi, you know about the family get-together that's happening next week? Being my daughter-in-law, you are expected to come early in the morning to help prepare everything.
Hi, Kathy. Yes, of course I remember. And yes, I am planning to go there early.
All our relatives are coming too, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Oh, and don't forget to arrange the catering for everyone's lunch.
Okay, I will make sure to do that. Should I just order from the same caterer as well?
Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, but please don't forget to order something healthy for my daughter, Rebecca. You know how she's pregnant with her second baby. Ever since Tom got her pregnant, apparently she can't eat any oily foods.
Oh, I see. Okay, I will order something separately for her then.
Speaking of babies, Rebecca is already going to be a mother of 2. How is it possible that you still don't have any children yet? You realize that you are in your mid-30s already, right? What are you doing wrong?
I'm not sure. We are trying our best.
Doing your best doesn't mean anything if the results aren't following. Well, you are infertile to begin with. I guess it's just a waste of my time to expect anything from my daughter-in-law.
I'm so sorry.
Anyways, I heard that I'm finally getting a grandson. So at least I don't have to worry about the heir to our family name anymore.
Oh, I guess you guys found out about the sex of the baby already?
Yes, that's right. So now Tom and Rebecca are going to have a boy along with their daughter Lydia. She always gives me what I wish for. What an amazing daughter Rebecca is. Even my granddaughter Lydia, she won the piano contest just the other day. Isn't she amazing as well?
Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations.
She's only 8 and already that talented. I can't wait to see how she turns out in the future.
Yeah, and she's very smart too. She's going to have many doors open to her.
I'm sure that's going to be the case. Just as I would expect from my granddaughter. I hope my grandson is going to be just as talented, if not more. Oh, that reminds me. I have a favor to ask of you when Rebecca goes into labor.
Oh, what is it?
Once it becomes close to her due date, she'll be coming here to stay with us. So we need you to take care of Lydia during that time. Is that all right? Her dad is too busy for work and won't be around for her. So I think it would be best for her overall if you took care of her.
If that's the case, of course. My husband and I can take care of Lydia.
Thanks, that'd be great. Well, I guess that's the least you could do, considering you can't even give us any grandchildren. At least this way, you get to experience how it feels to be a mother.
Right. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to experience that.
Lydia has a very tight schedule with all the different lessons she's taking. So you're going to have to stick to the schedule to the minute and support her properly. She's probably going to stay with you guys for about 3 months. Make sure she keeps up with her good grades in school as well.
I understand. We'll do our best.
Anyways, it's still a ways away, so we can talk about more details when the date gets closer. Let's continue thinking about next week's get-together first. Naomi, have you heard about Lydia?
Do you mean about her illness? I heard that she has to be admitted to the hospital again.
Yes, that's right. It's been 6 months since she was diagnosed with this illness. But she doesn't seem to get any better, no matter how many times she goes through surgery. And now her doctor told us that she may not even live long enough to become an adult.
That's horrible. But she was so energetic when I saw her last.
We even did a thorough newborn screening test when Lydia was a baby. I can't believe this is all happening after all these years. To think of how much money we have wasted on her so far. I guess medical care really hasn't progressed that much.
Well, the most important thing now is for Lydia to get as healthy as possible, right? I will go visit her at the hospital sometime soon.
About that, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. You are taking care of Lydia from now on.
What?
Rebecca has her hands full with her second baby right now. And she's all burnt out from going through childbirth and having to deal with Lydia's illness at the same time. That's why we decided to let Lydia go.
What? What do you mean by letting her go?
I'm saying you can take that defective child off my daughter's hands and keep her as your own.
Hold on. Lydia is a living human being. You can't talk about her like she's a thing you can easily hand out. And there's no way her mom would ever agree with such a thing.
Actually, she told me that she doesn't want to keep a child with so many problems. She says she doesn't want to keep raising a child if she's not going to live long anyways.
What's wrong with you guys? Did you even consider Lydia's feelings at all?
Lydia is only 9. It's not going to take her very long to forget about her birth parents. And I don't think she'll live much longer anyways.
Even then, how could you do this to her? Giving up on her like this just because she's sick.
That's why we are saying you can have her. I don't think it's a bad deal for anybody. My daughter will be released from all the stress and inconvenience. And for you, you finally get to be a mother.
I can't do this while completely ignoring Lydia's feelings. I'm sure she wants to stay with her mom and dad. Even when she stayed with us for a while, she was studying really hard to make her parents proud. And this is how she's treated after all that?
Why don't you take her then if you feel so strongly about her? Isn't this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a barren woman like you?
Are Rebecca and Tom both really serious about letting Lydia go?
Yeah. Tom also agrees that they are okay as long as they have their son. To be honest with you, Rebecca isn't really paying much attention to Lydia anymore anyways, lol.
I'm sorry. I can't give you an answer on this one way or the other right now. I need some time to think about all this. I need to take this back and talk about it with my husband as well.
That's fine. If you guys aren't interested in taking her, we can always send her to an orphanage. Make your decision soon. Continuing to care for and maintain a sick child isn't free for us, you know.
I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble, Auntie Naomi.
Oh, hi Lydia. What do you mean? You know about what's happening?
Yeah. Well, it involves me, so...
Right. You must be heartbroken by all this.
It's okay. Everyone keeps telling me that they love my brother more, and that I'm just causing them trouble.
That's not true at all. I know how diligent you have been every day.
You and Uncle are the only ones who's been nice to me this whole time. Even when I was in the hospital. I was so happy when you guys visited me there.
Lydia, can you tell me how you really feel about all this?
How I feel?
Yes, because that's the most important thing here. I would like to know what's going on through your mind.
Can I come and be your daughter?
Are you sure that's what you really want?
Mom and Grandma both tell me that they don't want me anymore. I want them to love me, but I know that's not happening, so I don't want to keep feeling this way anymore.
Okay, if that's what you want, I'll come now to pick you up.
Are you sure? I'm not gonna be a bother for the two of you?
You've never been any bother to us. We have always thought fondly of you and enjoy having you around.
I'm not sure about that. All I do is cause everyone lots of trouble by being sick. And because I won't live long enough to be a grown-up.
You don't know that. Even if that's what the doctors say right now. Someone could come up with a cure tomorrow. Nobody knows what the future holds. Lydia, we will always be with you from now on. We can fight your illness together as a family.
Yeah. Thank you, Auntie Naomi. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm going to talk to your mom about how I'm coming to pick you up now. So wait for me there. You don't need to worry about anything anymore.
Hey, Naomi, it's been a long time. It's been 10 years since you guys cut us off completely. But you have to hear me out about something. I will even consider taking it to court if I don't hear back from you. It's that important.
Kathy? What is this about? We have done nothing to cause a lawsuit.
It's about Lydia. I heard that her illness has been cured.
So what?
Well, can you imagine our surprise? We saw Lydia being interviewed on TV about her overcoming her illness and being admitted into a really prestigious university. Why didn't you tell us that she was all better?
I didn't think that was necessary. We went through a proper process and officially adopted her as our daughter. And we agreed not to bother with any of you ever again. So why would we tell you about anything?
I don't think you understand. Rebecca is the one who gave birth to Lydia. She only let her go because of the illness. Of course she has a mother's right to know if Lydia is cured.
A mother who abandons her child just because she's sick has no right to know anything.
You realize that you've never given birth to any child, right? You think these 10 years suddenly make you her mother now? You are so pathetic. Lydia is Rebecca's child, no matter how hard you deny it. Anyways, you can bring her back to us now.
I have been raising Lydia for longer than Rebecca did. I'm confident that I'm thinking about what's best for her more than you guys ever could. You're dreaming if you think I would ever give her back to you people.
You have to understand that it's a different story if Lydia is cured. She can come back to her real home and commute to school from there. Even Tom says that he doesn't mind providing for her if she's gifted. It would be better for Lydia to come back and be with her real family anyways. It's time for you to stop playing mother. We'll come get her sometime soon.
Enough is enough! What are you telling my mother?
What?
It's been a while. This is Lydia.
Oh, Lydia! Is that you? It's your grandma. How have you been?
You aren't my grandma. And Rebecca and Tom aren't my real parents. My only grandparents are my mom Naomi's parents. I don't even consider you guys my family anymore.
Lydia, don't be so cruel. We were heartbroken about losing you, you know. Your mom, Rebecca, really regrets it too.
She can regret it forever. I don't even care about any of this.
It must have been really hard for you to be raised by people who aren't your real parents. You can tell me the truth.
They gave me so much more love than my birth parents ever did.
I'm sure that's not true. We spent a lot of money on you since you were little.
Yeah, ever since I was in kindergarten, all the way through elementary school. I was so crazy busy studying at cram school to get good grades.
and taking lessons in various things just to make you all proud.
Yes, and it was all for you.
No, it wasn't for me. It was all for your own egos. My current parents are the only people who ever cared about what I really want.
Oh, don't be so stubborn. If you come back, we can pay for your tuition, and we'll buy you anything you want. On top of that, your real father is saying he can help you get a good job using his connections. He works for a big company, so you'll be in good hands for sure.
I don't need any of that. I'm very happy with where I am right now. I know I will be miserable if I go back there.
Your little brother is here too, you know. He really wants to see his big sister.
I have no memory of him. My illness was found around the same time as he was born, so I wasn't even allowed to see him. I didn't have any interest in a brother I've never even met.
Lydia, you are gifted. You are promised to have a bright future if you come back to live with us here for sure. Anyways, why don't you come visit us at least once? Everyone is dying to see you.
No, thank you. I bet you have no idea how I felt when you guys abandoned me. I don't think people who so easily abandon their child just because the child gets sick are even human. I am here today happy and healthy, all thanks to my current parents. And I can swear that it has nothing to do with you at all. Don't ever contact my mother like this ever again.
Hey, Lydia, please. To tell you the truth, we are thinking that you could be our heiress. Your brother isn't really smart enough to carry our family name on as the heir.
Lydia doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And I have nothing to say to you either, so excuse myself here.
Wait, Naomi, please talk to Lydia. She will listen to you, won't she? Please tell her to come home.
I respect her decision, and I will never say anything to deny her feelings otherwise.
Don't you feel sorry for Rebecca? Her own child was taken away by you.
What? I've never felt sorry for her like that. If anything, I feel sorry that she's horrible enough to abandon her child the way she did.
She was way beyond her capacity back then.
Even so, she doesn't even contact us until now, when Lydia's all better. And we made a promise that we won't contact you. At least until Lydia asks to see you guys. But I don't think that's what she wants right now. So, will you excuse us?
You and Lydia have no blood connection, you know.
So what?
Isn't it hard to hide the fact that you are not her actual mother? It's best for Lydia to be with her real family. Please, let me talk to my beloved granddaughter again. I've been regretting the whole situation ever since we let her go. I really regret making the decision we did.
I can proudly say that I'm her mother. It doesn't matter what you say. She is our daughter. No matter what happens. She's always going to be our precious daughter, and we'll never let her go. We have been ignoring them since then, and we went back to living our normal life. You'd think it would be easier if we were to block their contact, but we want to make sure that Lydia has a way to reach them in case she ever decides she wants to talk to them. Just in case she ever changes her mind. She doesn't seem interested to talk to them right now, but I want to keep their contact details for at least a little while longer, just in case. And they tried to fight us legally, but she's already our adopted child officially, so they weren't successful. And she's already 18 to begin with, so she can make her own decisions on where she wants to be. So we plan on letting her stay here as long as she wants. I heard that her little brother turned out to be a very problematic 10-year-old as a result of everyone spoiling him recklessly. Apparently, he's very selfish and doesn't listen to what anybody says. But to be fair, he's still only 10. I would think it's too early to give up on him as an heir. But they are the type to abandon a child just because she's sick, so I guess they are worried about the future. I'm sure they just want Lydia back so they can brag about having a gifted child as their next heiress. I would never let such people have Lydia ever. Not that they have anything to do with us anymore. In any case, We will always protect Lydia as a family and nurture and support the growth of our precious daughter towards a bright future.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.